What's going on, everybody? Welcome to BMT. I'm coming at you again. I just had to finish up doing a little bit of admin work, but yes, we are here. We are here. It would not be fair. It would not be fair if I did not do this one. There's no way I'm going to say something about the Andrew, but never say something about the Cynful. We got to call these things out, and we got to hold all these people to the feet to the fire when something like this happens. Because, see, we ain't going to play this game. You want to ask me to be my brother's keeper? Best believe I'm going to be my brother's keeper. But also the sister, you best believe I'm going to call you out. And, oh, there's some foul stuff afoot. Stupid is as stupid is, and definitely this is stupid. But we got to call it for what it is, man. Because what we see going on, oh, yes, I'm going to be showing that doggone dumb behind poll. You best believe it. And I'm going to go through those comments and I'm going to show it, man. If you're coming on in, like the video, dislike the video, I really don't care. Because yes. See, I didn't see nobody else get on and talk about it. But best believe BMT is going to talk about it. I told y'all, the separation has already begun. The segregation has already started. Why are the grandmas not calling it out? Oh, you know what? Hey. Oh, they were dancing. They were dancing right there in the circle bonfire. They were having their own little Salem. I guess some Selma goddamn bonfire. Can't call it Salem. They were having their own Selma bonfire. So I'm definitely going to have the conversation. Because when I see this going on, I'm like, yo, you can't ask me to say, well, you need to get on Fantastic, but hold up. Y'all had a whole poll. That outdid, at least they actually had a mental argument, but y'all literally had a whole poll, and I'm like, wow, man. You gotta call things for what it is, man. I told you, man. BMT is. I would rather die with my sword in my hand and being a man and calling things out for what they are. They say, "Oh, I didn't see nothing." Nah, man, no. All skin folk, damn sure, ain't the kinfolk. But we definitely gonna have that. But I told y'all, man. I was like, what is this? Is this some demonic witchcraft seance that's going on? And to see little guy, I saw men in the polls literally commenting, having a good time. Like, were there man ponds going on? Where's all these so-called women of these nations? Where's the pick-me's that y'all talk about? Where's all these women that be on y'all panels? Where's their content about this? Oh, Ray, you get quiet. Don't I got to be fair. There were some women that did say something. Shout out to Rob. Shout out to Dana. Shout out to I think it was George and Rose. I gotta say, those four, they were. I gotta give it to them. They did bring that shit up. Like, what the hell is this? But for the rest of y'all, I'm not playing no games. We starting to draw the lines in the sand. We had a talk on it on Faith's channel. But when I'm seeing a whole poll about y'all, this is why I said YouTube does not speak for the black household. They do not. Not this. Listen, ain't nobody in this sector of YouTube speaks for the black family household. If anything, listen, bro. I have yet seen none of these fools. Actually, I did know about it, fool. So you can be quiet, Dana. I knew all about it, so you be quiet. Oh, Lord, Dana, I literally just gave you a compliment just 3 seconds ago. Be still, child. Be still. I rebuke you right now. God dang. All you did was just talk about it in your 25-minute rant. I'm actually doing the content, so I beat you to it. Ha, 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 I won. But now we're going to have the conversation, man. But we got to be honest, man. We don't call it out. We don't actually talk about it. I'm trying to let y'all know, man. Everybody here doesn't think like this, man. Yeah, I did. Dana, you only got to talk before I did. That's all you did. You only got to talk before I did. That's it. Robbie called you before she called me. I'm not doing this with you right now. So anyway, we're going to have the conversation. You know what I'm saying? But everybody thinks 2 things. 1, everybody thinks the white man is running around protecting white women like no tomorrow. What's going on, Underrated Darkness? Much love to you, brother. Did you hear that, Nacho? Everybody's thinking that the white man is running around saving Karens all over the street. I told y'all they don't do that shit. You know what I'm saying? But we got to have the conversation, man. I told y'all, man. There's a sickness in this part of YouTube, man. There is a sickness. And if we can't call it out, yo, it's only gonna get Nacho. Thank you, Nacho. They think a bunch of white men are running around saving white women. Hey, listen, man. I don't know. Listen. I got white friends that will tell you right now, they don't be doing that shit, man. Shit. We're gonna have the conversation, man. Because this is hilarious. We're gonna have the conversation, man, because you know what I'm saying? Just share the live. Y'all share the live, man. We're gonna have the conversation. Don't worry, I'm gonna take care of everything on the back end. But I do know that the foolishness is real. Everybody's not an intellectual. That's for damn sure. And we got to be real about this, man. And we got to start making some changes and calling out that you off code. So let's have the discussion. I already know. I got a call saying, turn on my damn thing. Hey, what's going on? What's going on, man? On the Great White Horse? How you doing? Now I want y'all to know. I want to also talk to different other races and counterparts and ask them: are they running around saving and dying for white men? I mean, white women. So we're going to have a continental meeting of the minds. Now, for some of y'all, if you're not covered in the blood, if you're not thick-skinned, I understand. But I promise you, it's time to start doing some Mythbusters. It's time to start taking some Corona bottles and start shoving them up your goddamn vaginal and urethras. Because we already know some of y'all, this is probably what y'all kind of get y'all kinks off of. I think some people just like getting off on damn pain and destruction. I think so. So let's go ahead and play. Yeah, I know. Hey, I've seen the videos, man. How your ass get up here so fast? Come on. Good afternoon, Dana. I knew you were gonna spawn up here.
Yeah.
What's up, Dana? Hey,
I'm proud of you.
is that fan on?
Talk to me.
It is on. You can hear it?
Yeah, I can hear it.
You said, okay.
I
don't care. I don't care.
I'm listening right now.
It was Illuminati on Sunday. I don't care.
I'm listening right now for that fan, like Beth believe.
It's the air conditioner. I don't care. I still think that weirdo did something. I
Go
don't
ahead.
care.
This is not about your fan. No. No. What's going on, Yori?
Hi, Yori.
So we definitely gonna have the conversation. You know what I'm saying? And let's have the talk. Before we do that, let's go through the secretion of stupidity and evidence before we start it up. Now, you already see the topic before I start. Let me make sure I get that out the way. The Cynful G, I call it Cynful G poll. Pretty play on words, Cynful. It's a Cynful poll. On YouTube, black women choose white supremacy over a black man. Now, I make sure I said not all mindset, but I don't want people to think that's, you get what I'm saying? I don't want people to think that's everybody that thinks like that. That would be stupid to think everybody thinks that somehow we all think like that. That's like saying all black men want white women. I see, like on YouTube, you got to say not all, but somehow they'll think I'm talking about everybody. So you understand sometimes when you're talking to the low hanging fruits of the universe, it gets like that. But since Dana said she got to it first and she talked about it, go ahead, Dana.
I said I told you about it.
You didn't tell me about it. You didn't tell me about shit.
You didn't know about it that I brought it up last night.
I knew about it already. You just beat me to the con.
Because you would have did a show already about it. if you knew about it.
You didn't know what I had. You don't know what I had on my calendar to do.
No, I spoke about it last night. That's when you found out and you decided to talk about it because
who got called first, Dana?
It's something that should be talked about.
Yes, it should be. It should be. Just like we talked about the one incident with the Andrew. I don't want y'all to think that I'm only going to call out one BS. And
who's Andrew?
Andrew is the goddamn looking like polio, look like little Dirk. It's some white dude that came on and was like saying that 50% of white people are smarter than black. That's stupid.
So I think so. My thing is the way I'm dissecting it is the fact is I'm going deeper than that. It's like, why would you put that poll up? You put it up for sensationalism, for shock value, for views, so people could donate. Because majority of people that follow people, they don't have a mind of their own, particularly black people. I'm just focused on black people. They don't have a mind of their own. They're already dealing with whatever dysfunction or mental whatever that they're dealing with, right? Or any trauma they went through in life, and they didn't seek help for it. So this is their outlet sometimes to listen to people on YouTube. And a lot of these people that are popular on YouTube, they know that. So it's like, let me keep this type of content going, but hide it under the disguise of black empowerment. So, so I already looked at her like, okay, she's not really about black empowerment. It's more about gender wars. So she's just another version of the manosphere. So I'm not just going to kick her back in. Like, I'm going to kick any black person back in when you try to do this gender wars. She's putting black women against black men, and how these black men are putting black men against black women. And I'm just saying this whole thing has to stop. But this specific poll, you should put the poll up too.
Oh, no, I'm about to put it up. Put it up.
That she's asking that question, do you black women feel more protected under white supremacy than black men? The question alone is ignorant and stupid, and it makes no sense. And then you have people calling in, because I went into the show to listen, over 600, she took it down, saying, yeah, I do. And this is why. First of all, I have a black son, and I'm always looking at it from that angle because I'm not a man, but I'm a mother to a black man. And if you're getting your ass beat, let's say in public by your man for whatever reason, and another black man don't step in, and 7 times out of 10, somebody will step in. But then again, people do need to mind their business. Call the cops. And I'm looking at it where I live at. My police department, I have a good rapport with them, and they're majority black. I feel comfortable with that. I would never go around having the mentality of, I don't feel protected by a black man. You know what I'm saying? I just can't do that. Not saying that they protect me. Well, first of all, I try not to put myself in that situation. And then when we're talking about crime, I say there's no such thing as black on black crime, because they never say white on white or Asian on Asian crime, because anything that happened to you as you being a victim is going to happen to you by the people that live amongst you. So if you live in an all black community, of course your assailant is going to be a black person. That doesn't mean that in general black men don't protect themselves or their families or their community. So how can you compare black men versus white supremacy? And I'm just going to say that for now, because I know other people have to talk, and I'll just chip in my thoughts throughout the show. So okay. You comparing, you're doing white supremacy versus black men, like that's sickening.
No, like I said, but I'm really right now like fevering to actually show the poll. So, but I want to give y'all a quick go through real quick, but I want to get to this poll, so that way I can get the reactions and get this thing out the way. So that way we can start dissecting the verbiage. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Because Dana talked about it last night. I talked about it. I talked about it in another segment earlier about the protection. I hit a few different groups and ethnicities. We're going to talk about the protection in their communities versus our community, but I swear, boy, it's like somehow there's like somebody running around with a cape and a sword and fighting dragons all over the streets. Like, what are we in Marvel? So we got to be realistic here, man. Like, I agree with Dana. Like, Don't put people in harm's way. But also, I would say, I've had it where my mom has told me, don't be running out there for no random broad and trying to save her if you don't know her like that. My mom told me that. So you have it where, understand, women know women. Men know their daughters to say, don't be putting that man life in danger. Don't be playing with a man's emotions. If there are somebody older than you, they will tell you that. So, like I said, let me get it over. I think you already jumped. Otho came, and then Renaissance Man. Welcome everyone. Welcome. Go ahead.
Well, originally for Cynthia G, it's kind of weird, but it's so many YouTube channels. You can YouTube search, because you said this is a YouTube thing. And the reason I got on YouTube, but my first video was about the HR 22 something, and now it's a new HR I want to speak to you about, and we'll email you. But I came on social media to see why, when I went to this job, I finally had a good job after getting out of the military. Why was my race women the only one attacking me? The white women, the Puerto Rican women, especially the Puerto Rican women, was loving me because of my friendliness. And everybody else, all black women, like, oh, I'm doing this for attention. And they meet me after work and they say, oh, you really is this certain way. I'm a sociable person. I'm not very outgoing. There was an attack. And then after that is as the whole gates of my hatred of my women opened up. It's as everywhere I went, I just seen so many. I was in the military from 2000 2005. So by 2008 to 2014 or 12, I seen just an influx of our race women just being with all types of men, and then dissing me like as I was a disease. And I found that to be very odd. And what Dana was saying, good to meet you, Dana. I was on a women's theory before, and they all was agreeing, we hate black men. If they ever see on the street, if the cops killing them or they dying, we not gonna stick up for them. And then to see all these movements and they say don't make sense, then they taking Malcolm X quote out of context. That was in the 60s when we was in a war. So when we all was in war because we was drafted, there was no men home. And then when the men came home, they came home to no homes. They was homeless. They had PTSD. They had all these problems, and they had no women to go to, because by then all the women was getting those jobs. And see, and that's the text that nobody want to talk about. And then they use that. And then now you have all these women. Then it's another lady, her name Kristen Carlson, Cynthia.
Let's just keep it on this. Let's just keep it on.
Okay.
I don't want you going off on some tangent on some other stuff.
Okay.
I want to keep it focused.
And it's just hatred. And then I say, where's the hatred coming from? Because since I was younger, my mother said respect women. She punched me in my face when that Missy Elliott song came on. We listened to Queen Latifah, UNITY. It wasn't it wasn't no separation. My family is good. As far as help and my father's side, we have no problem. No matter they disagreements, we squash it. And they all dark skinned. They all chocolate people. So hearing all of this hatred on the internet and then coming off of the internet at job or work and the club scene or the bar scene, where you want to call that, like the entertainment industry scene, it's more hatred there than it was in my homes. So all my questions are, why is everybody doing this? And then I hearing all of these new terms, colorism. I said, that's racism just in the same skin color, or darkism. And then people are getting paid. Cynthia G's getting paid, but originally she didn't talk that way. It's as when the racial diversion, this is exactly what it is, diversion shifted, then her talk shifted. And then I got
a question really quick. I see you going on some. Was it not the same thing going on in music and different other types of verbiage where the women were getting talked down on?
Yes, but our women was dancing and then agreeing with it, just like in Blackstreet song, I can get you with my ride. And
okay. So you're saying because you saw some women dancing to it, because it is music. That's like them saying, that's like them playing death metal, which I listen to, and you'll see kids in the mosh pit dancing. So so you would think that all the women agree to being hoes and bitches, and that they all were agreeing to that, and that everybody was agreeing that we all are niggas, we all are dumb, we all gonna want to do coke and die. Like, are we gonna skip over that?
No, but nobody said nothing. That's what I'm saying. I'm not agreeing. I'm not agreeing with calling. I don't say the N word. I don't call women the B word. I don't do a lot of those things. But they agreed with it, and nobody said nothing. And then I guess a certain era finally started saying something. Instead of talking about it, it's as the women did the reverse. They said, now we gonna be what the hardcore rap was saying, Tupac and all of them. They are bitches, Too Short. They are this. They are this 2 Live Crew, Uncle Luke. So we're going to be that and make our music. It's as we're going to mimic it and just reverse it because we women. So we're going to put hatred upon hatred. You see what I'm saying?
But you're asking. Okay, I'm hearing everything you're saying. And like I said, but I'm keeping it 100 where I've literally seen it where on both sides, because literally we've had more songs with men that have done more degradation of degrading the community than we have of women. We've had so let's not pretend that literally the women were singing about being a woman and all kind of stuff. I could pull up. I'm a music junkie on that.
Oh yeah.
But we also can't pretend like if that man wasn't paying a doggone contract to them men's groups to do some doggone talk down on our people. Them men took the check. Now I've never heard of a high value crack dealer or dope dealer that's a woman, but we can pull up a lot of videos and movies of men that sold dope. So I probably only know 2 houses. They were whorehouses that were ran by women that I know of when I was coming up. But all the other, it's called a zoo house. I'm not sure if some of y'all know what a zoo house. I'm teaching y'all some street tango. A zoo house that's usually run by a man, where he keeps everybody high and on dope, and literally that's usually run by them. So you gotta understand that it's a lick for a lick. It's a lick for a lick. Maybe sometimes people feel that, hey, because they're not within that certain type of power anymore. But I guess y'all can't believe that, oh man, YouTube gave certain people a voice. It's a problem. But we done stepped away too long from, and I want to get to this portion right here. And after that, I'm gonna go to Iori and Renaissance Man after we do the breakdown. Okay. But we can't pretend like I'm not going to pretend like it wasn't the bullets weren't being thrown at both sides. I'm not going to pretend that that's not true. See that we can't be doing that here. We're going to call out one. No. I'm not saying that. True. I'm just saying we're going to call out, like I said, and I agree with Brother Rob. The gender war does have to stop. The gender war it's not even healthy anymore. It's like people are just doing things to get the views and get the cash. And so here we go. Let me go ahead. I don't need no commentary. Now I had to click it so that way I could see. God dang, 66%. Let me go ahead and play that. I asked this question on a live stream, and haven't had one black woman say she believes black women would be safer under black male rulership than white supremacy. Y'all vote and let me know what you think so we can discuss why black women feel more protected under a system of white supremacy than they would if black men were ruling. You can also comment why you voted the way you did. Now, I had to click to see the vote. 66% of Stupid Tube said they feel safer under current white supremacy. Wow.
How much?
66%.
Oh my god.
I clicked on
double,
it.
Triple.
and I clicked on it for safer black men in power. I am a black man in power of my home, my family, and I'm inserted into my community, and I'm doing just fine. She said, I am asking which system would be safer. Clearly, white supremacy is not safe, but things could get worse. It's like jumping out of the pan and into the fire. So I'm asking, do you think it would be safer for black women under black male rulership? Now, I got a little bit of a feed. I'm not going to play it because I don't feel like getting hit. But I heard she wasn't asking about safer. Am I correct, Dana? She wasn't saying safer. She was asking, which one do you choose? Some said safer under current black BC. I mean, okay, I don't know what BC. Safer under current BC. Most black men seem to hate black women. This is really a shame that a lot of black women feel this way, but I'm not surprised. I think it would be worse. They're going to be like children who survived abuse, then turned into adult abusers. Most of them are aching to force their will onto us. They have no clue how to properly respond to nurture femininity from a masculine aspect. How do you nurture femininity from a masculine? What the Jesus Christ aspect? And they just want to rule over us for the sake of their own egos. It would be a nightmare given to present conditions of their emotional, mental, and spiritual state. Save us, Judge Joe Brown. Wouldn't have thought that the question would stir up so much emotion. I'm desperately trying to come up with a reason. Okay, I can't read all these long sentences. Goddamn, they tell a whole Bible verse of the scriptures. So literally, I'll read the short ones. You have Shar. You have all these people. It's pretty crazy. Now, I even have it where, as I go through, you got all these women so far. And with Blue, this is hard. I certainly do not feel safe under white supremacy, but I also feel black men turn against his own to make white people feel more comfortable. This is a man. Jesus Christ. I don't know how far gone y'all have lost your mind. We have lost the war. I am a black man, and I agree to the current system. Jesus. Right, here we go. We done. COVID, hurry up and take us. But I already know it's time. I believe subconscious.
Probably was in a gang, and he probably don't.
No, there's some. No.
The I can't even. Seals will happen soon. BMT.
Shit, hurry them up. I can't even imagine black men in power to begin with.
Jesus Christ.
The image is long gone in my mind. So I'm not about to sit here and read the goddamn. I don't even know what the hell I'm reading. Some type of satanic, demonic ritual.
Cynthia original comment back at the top. Go to her original comment and see what people have wrote under that comment. You see where she had commented? Yeah, hers. And it say 62, view 50, yeah.
I wish people read my comments. I comment too some days.
I read them.
You do? You read my comments?
Yeah, I respond to them.
Oh yeah, you do respond. Shit, you respond with a whole goddamn thesis, man. Like, tighten up, man. Type me less, man. You were like, you know, y'all hateful emails I get. Like, come on, man. I need some shorter stuff, man. Work with me.
2-sentence answers.
All right. But mine don't be.
That's how bad it is. It has to load up. I can't do this shit. I'm not doing this shit.
Okay.
So we're back. We're back. I think y'all. I don't know what the hell. That was some. I put on some. I hope y'all like the effects of the Saint
I like the music that you put on.
You liked it? I like it. I actually fall asleep to that music. I kid you not. Y'all want to know? Y'all want to know what's so weird about that? Y'all want to know who was singing that music? I'm watching. I'm gonna give you a little. I'm gonna give you a little thing. This is how you know there are some very gifted men out there. I thought it was like some kind of like normal everyday people. This almost made me cry. This almost made me cry. This was them. They were singing it. I shit you not. That was literally them singing it. They were singing it.
What?
That was them.
Oh, y'all knew it was black men. Yeah.
Yeah, that was them. That's them.
Wow.
They're on a step. I thought that was so beautiful.
And you put the link in the thing
for them
where you got the song from, the name of it.
It looks like
it's frozen, but hang on, I'm gonna get that for y'all. Like, I was very mesmerized how they were singing like that. I was like, what? Were y'all Catholic, boy? I mean, you know what? Hey, god dang it, boy. Y'all brothers, y'all did that, boy. I said, best believe I'm gonna snatch that when I gotta read comments from now on. Whenever I'm reading comments, I'm gonna sit down on my chair and drink a beer and hear some Holy Art Thou music and listen to them. So I want y'all. I find it very interesting that we literally were agreeing to that. Now I'm showing you. I want y'all to understand, and y'all probably remember this. I want y'all to understand. Y'all probably remember this video long time ago. I'm good at what I do. I'm good at what I do. Y'all remember this video a long time ago? Have you ever seen this video? Where the little children, they rode their bikes. And when they were riding their bikes, they got beat with this. I'm not going to play the audio. But these children were riding their bike and they rode into a segregated white neighborhood. And they were racially being harassed and hurt. And
oh yeah, I remember that.
Now this is not no screen written. This is filmed in Queens in 1976. And literally these children. Now, I find it interesting when y'all talk about that type of supremacy. And I'm not an angry or hateful person, but these children are still alive today. So you're telling me that type of hatred, y'all feel safer to have that literally where these children were literally getting beat and harassed and pursued by the content of their skin and treated like animals.
They like don't care because they're okay with it because they're gonna be living amongst them.
So I want y'all to BMT. If you think back to pre-civil rights, a lot of people don't know. One of the things that led to the beginning of the civil rights movement was you had the rape of black women that was going basically unchallenged in the South. And that was happening under white supremacy. And I'm just like, do y'all really know like all that black men and black people have fought against to get to this point?
Right. Now, I want you to look at this, that literally because of how one of these children treated, I hate their goddamn guts. And the other girl grabbed her and said, you don't hate them. You can't say that, you know what I'm saying? Because she understood that it was taught to them. The older one understood it, and it's just a system. They don't know. I can't say that I don't hate anybody, you know. And literally, they were asking them, and see, so you'll have that one person that will carry the hatred. And listen, y'all, you know, I've had my fair share when I was in the military, when I was in the workforce. I've been called a monkey, a dog, all kind of stuff. Even in the U.S. of A, great military. So I don't want y'all to ever think that just because I put on a uniform, I got treated fairly. But I also understood the constructs that was set against me, my father, and all those of men and women that came before me and that will come after me. You know, and I'm not saying that, but when I see somebody making an evil demonic poll like that, and y'all are patronizing that to no end spits upon these grown men and women now that literally have had that happen.
Yeah, that's a slap in their face, you know, and it's not like, see, but this is why BMT, this is why I don't believe, see, because a lot of times we have this whole thing of, you know, this narrative that black people support black people, Asians support Asians, Mexicans support Mexicans, and we look at racism as being like white versus black or this, that, and the other. No. See, the problem is that certain people don't see other people's fuckery because we still go by this whole thing that, you know, all skin folk are kinfolk. And to be honest, that's where a lot of people get into problems, because I don't judge people based on their hardware. I judge people based on their software. And too often we judge people based on the hardware without realizing that the people that are probably meaning the most harm to us are people that have our same hardware. And the reason I say that is because we have a blind spot not to recognize that.
Yeah, that's how a lot of frauds, like in when you start looking at like Madoff, how he perpetrated fraud on the Jewish community, they say that that's how it commonly happens. You have someone who is of the community, and people have their guard down, and they get taken.
Right. Now, absolutely.
Now, I want to ask a question. Go ahead.
Go ahead. And
I want to ask a question.
Go ahead, BMT.
Like I said, I want to ask a question, and y'all doing a good job with panel etiquette. I think we're going to be starting practice on that. I also want to start employing that literally with the panel etiquette. If somebody is talking, I have a 2-strike rule. The first strike is when somebody's talking, you interrupt them, I put you on mute. Second time, I drop you down. I'm going to keep you down there for at least about 3 minutes. Then after that, when I bring you back up, if you continue on to interrupt people or cause dysfunction amongst the panel, then I will just remove you for that day. Unless you just say, you know what, fuck it, you know what. But I feel like that would be safer. I will call it the real data etiquette to protect those of my panelists. Because I've been hearing from a lot of panelists that it needs better moderation. So I'm letting y'all know I had sat down while I was smoking and drinking and literally said I need to make a better theorem to protect my panelists while they are talking. But also I want to make sure that our panelists, we start taking down our talking point. If it's just a few of us, we talk as long as we want. If it's like a whole panel of us, we take it down to 2 minutes. I think that way, because we're seeing a lot of panels where they get emotional and we start attacking. What's going on, Great White Horse? We also joined here by Kelly. Like I said, I'm gonna pass it to Kelly after I get it to Dana. Dana, you saw it 1976. That wasn't that long ago. I believe the people, the children from that film are most likely they're still alive. They should be grandparents now. Do you think that reflects or spits upon? What's your thoughts upon that? That when I show that film versus this poll of where people are saying that, hey, they feel more safer and enabled inside of a certain algorithm or system that literally hurts and harms people that don't look like you.
Right. Well, I didn't know that was in 76. That's the year I was born. But
what?
Go ahead, Dana. Of course, it's not that long ago. But I heard that a lot of them are still alive. But see, that's the point I'm trying to make, because Black men and women are in this together. We always been under the knee on our neck under white supremacy. It's been so much harm that has been done to Black people, specifically here in America, really worldwide, but specifically here in America. So I would never, ever say I'm more protected under white supremacy when it was white supremacy who raped me and raped my husband and killed my sons and took my babies away from me. You know what I'm saying? Who whipped me and whipped the family, broke up the family, lynched Black men, women, and children. Yeah. It's been over 5,000, but it's thousands more that's unaccounted for, and no repercussions ever happened from that. Burning down our communities. This just didn't happen to Black men because Black men was disrespecting or killing Black women. No, this happened to both of us. So how can I feel protected under a system that was never built to protect me and has shown that they are not here for me or for the Black man?
Right. And the poll in itself has a flawed concept, because if you notice, they're comparing Black men to white supremacy.
Right.
That's not analogous. You're comparing a human being to a system. The true comparison would have been Black men versus white men, but they're never going to do that, because obviously that's a binary choice. That's you pick one or the other. Right. This kind of questioning is built on doing whatever you can do to elevate white supremacy and devalue the Black man. I mean, we see this all the time.
And I think it's devaluing the Black man in the context that they're putting it, but it's devaluing Black women that actually pick white supremacy. It's like, what is wrong with you? And it's some things that I would agree before in the past with Cynthia G, and some things I did not. And that's fine. We don't always have to agree with people. But after that, I don't respect her at all, because you knew better and you did not do better. And you was doing it, like BMT said earlier, for views, for shock value. And the climate that we're in right now with the protest, coronavirus, everything, we don't have time, particularly as Black people, to really be fighting against each other and partaking in idiotic conversation or polls like this. She's doing a disservice to humanity, period.
Yeah, I was going to add too.
Go ahead. Say what y'all got to say for 1 minute, and I got to get it over to Kelly, because I'm also going into the other portion of the segment that we had last night. That literally, that somebody said white men willingly protect white women more than Black men protect Black women. I don't know where all.
I'm sick and tired. I'm sick and tired of hearing all these Black men devaluing arguments. But this again shows the concept that it's the software versus the hardware argument, and things can't be chosen based on hardware. Things have to be chosen based on software. What's going on in these people's minds, right? Because if we look at a hardware-based comparison, that's a flawed argument, and that's the problem with a lot of us. We focus on a hardware-based analysis. It just doesn't work.
Yeah, I was going to quickly add too, with the whole premise that she had. Part of the biggest myth of white supremacy has been the lack of acknowledgement of Black men and their achievements. So if you're going to look at this current environment and say this is white supremacy, there's a whole lot of Black men who have contributed to quote unquote white supremacy that isn't acknowledged. So it would even be worse than what we have now if you're really talking about looking at just pure white supremacy. Like you're talking about, like we said, you can't even really look at the U.S. Think more like something like South Africa. Are you safer under like apartheid in South Africa or Black men?
let me I guess let me hit off for something for nachos. When I was overseas in the Middle East, there would be nomadic people from Africa that would come up to try to. They had a channel for immigrants, where they could ride through from the Red Sea. But because of their complexion, they were seen as inferior. They still are called slaves. They're still called slaves. And literally, if caught, some of them are killed. There's no repercussion. There's no issue. There's no problem. Nobody bats an eye. Nobody cares if they live or die. And literally, we say, hey, we was on patrol and we saw 3 men. Thank you for the super chat. Thank you for the super chat. Great Castle Dragon. That literally that they were saying, well, hey, Americans, help us shoot them. It's fun. And I was like, why? What are they doing wrong? They're slaves. Why does it matter? What? And that's when I knew that, wow, racism definitely does. Oh, it's fully functional. It's a fully functional caste system that some people are born into, and that some people still push upon other people. That even today in 2020, I to this no end, people, yeah, exactly, exactly, Christopher. Like the Arabian Peninsula, oh, you're trust and believe. They don't play. They don't play. Like they're straightforward about what they do. They're straightforward about it. You know what I'm saying? I don't tell people that they can't go, but I'm also telling you, to them, racism is just, it is what it is. You were born a certain pigmentation, and I was born a certain pigmentation. There is no intermingling. There is no rising above your station. You're born into a certain light. And so you may say it's evil. They say it's divinity. That's what you were born into.
That's crazy, because you got some people out there who were, just as dark, if not darker, than black people we got here.
Oh, trust me.
Yeah.
Trust and believe. I thought the boy that was there, he worked there as an indentured servant. But literally I had to stop the corporal because she saw that literally he had a brand on him, and she was like, Sarge, that's a slave. And I said, wait. Is that a slave? And they're like, no. He's a pet. So he was the house's pet. The boy was the house's pet. He wasn't a slave. He was the pet of the house. 7-year-old child was the pet for the kids and for the adults. So
did you see more women than men? Because one of the things I always heard with the Middle East is they'll run like a sort of a hustle of, they'll promise, a better life, and then a bunch of women will come over there and work as like domestics, and they'll get caught up in that.
A lot of women are easily sold off, or literally, I know, like a lot of girls like to go on college vacation. They're going on college vacations, and I always tell them, go stay in a group, but also stay in the tourist attraction areas. Don't have the local guys up in your room. Don't do certain stuff. I'm not sure if any of y'all ever been on a cruise or been out of the country. Some people like to try the limits and say, well, I'm gonna go out there to the city and go have. You don't truly know anything until you go out there to the city to where the actual locals are at. But if they find out that you're not from there, you know what I'm saying? No offense, but Dana will catch for a high penny. Kelly will definitely be sold off. Like, you gotta know your limitations. Don't be right. Hey, come. So, guys, I mean, I get what you're saying, Nacho. Yes, it is evil. However, nevertheless, it's still a system I mean, there's good system, bad system. Choose your poison. But let me get it over Kelly. Kelly, you're coming in on, and I know you have your biracial son, which I shouldn't have to bring him up. I'm not even bringing him up on this. But I'm gonna set it up for Bambino and us to have a conversation. But literally, we have it where somebody's saying that white supremacy is a lot safer than for a black woman than actually her being with a black man. And I want you to understand, I'm not against whoever you choose to marry. I don't want y'all thinking BMT's like, oh, you can't date out. No, never thought that in my mind. But I'm not gonna say I'm white supremacy. That's like saying neo-Nazism is like the greatest thing since sliced bread. Are y'all crazy? Go ahead, Kelly.
Well, first of all, let me say that, okay, does white supremacy exist in a form? Yes. But let me be honest and say, this is mind fuckery, okay? To think that, or to imply that one person is more important and or has more control, no. You choose your own destiny. Now, I'm not saying, don't misinterpret this, that white supremacy hasn't been a thing and isn't still around. Yes, not like 1960s, not like 1970s, 80s, 90s. Okay, it's a different time. Don't let that mindset, I feel like that deters people. I would never tell my son that anyone is supreme over another.
Right. No, that's fair. Now,
1 second.
Okay. Now, one of the you know what I'm saying? Now, one of the things about it is, and also we're joined here by my good friend, the therapist. I know you've been keeping track of it, Dr. D. And literally the mind state of a lot of these things that is going on. And again, I'm not telling you have to be, I don't know what, I can only speak for me. I don't have these type of issues in my home. I just don't. I never treated my other individual like you're a slave or a dog. These talking points that here on YouTube, they're not logical. They're just not. Nobody's going around with a wooden stick and pulling up a woman's dress and chopping her. I mean, if you're doing that, that's all levels of domestic abuse, and I'm not for that. But
I'm sorry, BMT.
You're fine.
But absolutely, I wouldn't encourage anybody and or tell them. When I think about that, that isn't even something. Let's say I brought that up at a Thanksgiving dinner, okay? My whole family would look at me like, what? Seriously, either side. This wouldn't be. I'm telling you, it's not even a thing in my life. I have not, like I said, white supremacy, yes, they do. It does affect Black people. I'm not saying that. But what I'm saying is, don't let that, it's mind trickery. Don't let, I would never teach him that somebody is better than him per their complexion. And it is a different age. I see a lot of people that, a lot of my son's friends, they range who they are: white, Mexican, Latino, whatever you want to say. He has a whole assortment of friends. They do not perceive things this way. This is an old ideology, I'm telling you. Mm-hmm. And I just think it's insanity to make statements in the protection thing. That's a joke. There is no white man running out here to save me, and it's not because, now I want to make sure people know this. It's not out of the fact that, oh, she's with a black man, so we don't need to help her. This is a case-by-case scenario that if a person chooses to jump out and help, they will. But it's not something where white men are jumping out and protecting random white women. It just doesn't happen. It case by case, you may find somebody who wants to get involved. I've done it case by case. But it's not just like, oh, let me go run and protect the white woman. No, 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 no. So okay, I just wanted to make that clear.
Okay, but I remember I was speaking over that last night. That people believe there was a question asked, why don't black men protect black women? And I would agree, it is case by case.
I mean, we had an incident. Me and Mo had an incident a couple weeks ago where it was a car full of black guys that were going to jump on a white man. Okay. Mm-hmm. And he was just coming in. I was ready to put my shoes on. We were both gonna go downstairs. Like, wait, you're not gonna just jump him. Now, it's been a scenario where I've seen a group of white guys ready to jump a black man. Now, in a scenario like that, yes, I'm gonna get out too. It case per case. It depends on what, I'm looking at all the parameters. So it's not like I'm just jumping out on a random, so I don't get that. Women have to earn protection from men. This is not randomly gonna come. I don't expect any random man to just come to my rescue. You know how many times I've witnessed somebody trying to jump in between a domestic situation and the woman turns around and jumps on that man for beating up her man that was whooping her ass? Mm-hmm. So, man, this is crazy. I can't relate to that.
And I was going to add to BMT. I may have been you who mentioned it or another panel, but when you start talking about protection and women and men, part of that is being proactive, not reactive. So part of it is making sure you avoid that situation where it can happen, and then you have to deal with that 2% situation where it does. So that's another thing when you start talking about quote unquote protection.
Right. Like I said, you guys, what's up? Good hearing from you, D. I see you. You're more in a stable area. We're here having the conversation, and I'm catching up to speed for everybody who's in the chat. I just like to take a quick moment. Please like the video. Just give me 3 seconds. Just give me 3 seconds of I just want y'all to like the video or dislike the video, whichever one tickles your fancy. But I would sure like y'all to like the video. Just do that. Do me a solid. Like the video and share it, please. Let's get that going right now. There's a lot of people in the chat. I know y'all like to do onlooking, and it's free. You literally freely can actually just click it. It's only just not even a second. Y'all amaze me. Y'all like to come in my video. Y'all get mad when I start talking about other things that don't pertain to you, but I'm just letting you know. Hey, you not gonna doggone do me right, man. Just do me right. I ain't asking for much. So we're joined here by D. What's going on, man?
Hey, I'm glad you touched on this. I know we talked offline a little bit about this, but I just again, as I was talking about this with other conversations about this with other YouTubers, I mean, it just appalls me what content creators will do to try to get views and the depths of lowliness that they will go to in order to say dumb stuff to get a rise or for shock value. This is one of the most ignorant and outlandish as far as titles. And to me, and be honest with you, it's not, to me, it's for myself, it's difficult to even acknowledge. And the fact of the matter is this case in point. And we talk about case on case basis. Well, I got a big case that we can look at. How about the last 400 or 500 years of not being of being under a system where you were not protected? If you want to talk about, black men providing protection. Black men have died over the last 400 years trying to protect black women. And under the system of white supremacy, black women have been raped, maimed, hung, even to this day. When you look at, the lady in Georgia that got, got killed by the police and so forth. The female that was in Fort Worth that got killed and so forth. So this whole thing just saying stupid, to me, idiotic stuff to get a rise out of people, to me, is just unproductive, and it's not even, to me, worth our valuable time. I mean, there's just too many instances from an historical standpoint to come up with that from a so-called intellectual, claiming she's an intellectual. And because if you were truly intellectual, you would never come up with some type of title like that to evoke conversation in the first place. That's the perspective I'm looking at. And I can give you an example. One of our most quote unquote non-violent figures, Martin Luther King. This is something that people don't talk about, but there's documentation when in one particular march in Alabama where Martin Luther King was marching with him and his wife. His wife was there hand by hand, where his wife was struck by a white person, and Martin Luther King went to jail for whooping a white man's ass. But this is something history won't teach you or show you. Even Martin Luther King had an incident where he had to protect his own wife. Where was the nonviolence then? But see, that's not knowing your history and knowing things that that are somewhat the opposite of what they're trying to convey through education and so forth. So if Martin Luther King had some sense of limits behind being nonviolent and protecting his wife, I mean, there were definitely other black men that didn't have that long of a leash that also did the same. And even in death, I mean, the history just doesn't support that. I'm not talking about what has happened in the last 5 years, the last 10 years, the last 20, 30, 40, 50 years. I'm talking about the last 400 years of black men dying, getting hung, getting shot, and burned, and all kind of other stuff for protecting not only his wife, but protecting, his family and so on. I mean, I believe, and I know this, some of the people have said that, that protection is earned. I disagree with that. I think that because I don't hear other groups of people saying that, I think that as black men, we have an innate right and innate ability to protect our own women, regardless of if we know them or not, particularly when another man is causing harm. That's just what I believe. Now, should you assess the situation if that person triggered the situation or did whatever? I think that, there should be some sense of maybe calming the sister down verbally, because there's all different types of ways to diffuse a situation from being from getting violent or being intensified, so to speak. And so I think that it is appropriate to use, ways of calming someone down or preventing those situations from happening. But these type of discussions are never talked about amongst people of other races. I don't hear Arab people talking about, well,
actually,
Arab women don't deserve my
hold on. Wait, Eeyore. Now, like I said, that's why I wanted people from other diverse groups. We have Kelly, from she has the white diaspora, and Eeyore is from the Arab diaspora. And like I said, I've gotten quite a touch and feel of different diasporas around the world, and it's not a utopia where they all just like, I've seen it where a woman said something to one dude. I don't even know where the other dude came with the haymaker, and he had nothing to do with the conversation, and he punched her right there on the ground. And I was like, they were like, well, she talked back to that other dude, so the other guy just chastised her. And I'm like, oh my god, the hell. So it gets pretty brutal out there in the world now. It gets pretty brutal.
But I'm speaking from a majorative standpoint. You don't see those groups talking on platforms and so forth.
I will say that you are right on that one.
Yeah.
As far as it comes for the media protection, there shouldn't be anything where I will have to get online in this Dana for a come up. You understand what I'm saying?
Exactly.
There should never be nothing that would ever make me want to get up here to disdain her for a come up. But we do see that where that does happen. And I got to give a shout out to my wifey boo, Jay, because I'm letting y'all know right now, if it had not been for that woman, I would not be like this on YouTube. Plenty of times she like, Joe, let it ride. Don't say nothing. And I listen, but that's her form of protection, where a woman can speak a man down from getting into that altercation. You understand me? So that's how I do. See, that's what I'm saying. I got my team, and so whenever
that's actually what I was really.
Go ahead, Jay. Go ahead, Jay. And we also joined here by after
that's
that.
That's actually really what I was.
Go ahead.
What I was coming up to say for the most part, because I'm protecting my peace in these spaces, so I can't really fuck with it that much. But this is my piece, right? I feel that people are confusing protection, the word protect. When Black women say protection, we're not necessarily talking about physical protection. And I think that's the point that is missed on a lot of I'm speaking about Black men in particular, because I don't deal with white men like that. So I don't know what they do. I don't know what Arabs do. I'm speaking of Black men. Black men specifically will, and I noticed this, like, especially with celebrities, where they will, like, case in point, you have like Kevin Hart and Terry Crews that are coming to save Ellen's white ass, but they won't speak out on like a Meg Thee Stallion type situation. So and I didn't come here to debate, but what happens is that's what women mean by protection. If we're supposed to be your sisters, y'all don't back us up, kind of what you was just saying, like, when I told you yesterday to protect you. like I feel like we don't get that from Black men in a lot of cases, and not all. Stay out of his inbox, not all, but in a lot of cases, I feel that Black men will jump for exotical types. They will jump for white women way before they will jump for Black women.
Well, Jay, can I ask you one quick question?
One at a time.
I wanted to. Yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I just wanted to quickly ask her, when you say that, does whether that woman is in the right or the wrong in that man's mind, should that play a factor at all, or do you think regardless, hey, they need to back me up and you come and correct me in house afterwards?
I'm speaking of the mental gymnastics that Black men do when it comes to Black women. There seems to be a lot of, oh boy, here comes David Monroe. This is too long to fuck off. But like I said,
David's fine.
I'm talking about the mental gymnastics that Black men do, and in general. So I'm using Meg as a example just to prove my point. What I'm saying is that what I mean by mental gymnastics is folks will twist and turn a story each which way on how she deserved it. The woman got shot in the foot twice. I don't give a fuck if she was like up on him. The fact that she was in a vehicle, that means he had to move 3 times to get his gun and shoot her. He could have pushed her out the car. He could have gotten out the car, whatever the case may be. He took a weapon out and shot her. But I have seen nothing but from Black men in the mental gymnastics. That's what I mean. Y'all twist and turn it in a way to make it seem like she's the bad guy. And I'm using her as an example, but I see that shit all the time.
So
when it comes to darker skinned Black women, because I'm pretty sure if it was an exotical, a lighter chick, y'all would be like up her ass. But anyway, go ahead.
But you know what? Hold on. Let me say something. Let me say something. What destroys all that is about a year ago when you had different instances of Black females getting assaulted in these Asian beauty parlors, right? And who was sticking up for the sisters, so-called Black males, right? It's even to a point where this one guy from Chicago was throwing rocks at a dang Asian beauty parlor. So the fact that to say that Black males in general do not stand up for Black females, or
time in like 1,000 times. Like
black females when so-called black females are in a position of trouble, that's totally not true. And as far as Megan Thee Stallion, see, the things with people like Megan Thee Stallion is that that's an example where she wanted to choose the gangster and the thug guy, right. And what happened happened. When you want, that's not a mental gymnastics. That's
all right, Joe. I'll talk to you later. Bye.
Strike one from an online perspective, but from a day-to-day perspective.
Strike one on who?
Black
Stop. We're not going to be doing all the yelling. We can't do the yelling. We got to keep it. I want to keep it to the Cynful G poll. Because like I said, I want y'all to understand this, y'all. Y'all got to get this. I want y'all to get this. At some point, listen, the tit for tats is going to have to stop. The tit for tats is going to have to stop because we got the imagery. The imagery. These people on social media don't represent us.
Exactly.
They don't represent us.
That's what
they don't represent you. They don't represent Dr. D. They don't represent Dana. They don't represent Kelly, Honorable, Renaissance, Iori. They damn sure don't represent me. Like, I don't see, the women that I know are not running around saying or raising any man or woman as their God, but I'm just being honest, man. Listen, all this shit right here, I'm saying, and I'm being for real, and I want the ladies to look at this. Dana, you please tell me you could tell that these sound like hurt women or something deeply has happened to these women to think like this.
But that's what I'm saying. It's
thank you, dear.
She knew that was going to be gaslighting.
Anyway, have a good day.
Go ahead.
She knew that was going to be gaslighting for the women that follow her, and even some of the men, to be like, "Oh my God, that's so true." And what she felt to do, because she knew better, is to say, "Okay, I'm surprised that you pick white supremacy. Now let me break it down on why you're wrong for picking white supremacy." She didn't do that. She didn't do reverse psychology. She didn't use her intellect. She fed into that. You know what I'm saying? So again, you could have still attracted all those views with that title, but your wording and your context could have been reversed to tell people, stop thinking that white supremacy is better than a black man. Yes, we have issues, and we do, because just like Jay came up here, she has some valid points. But what I heard, and then I heard that, the man was saying, well, the problems he have with women, we as a people have dysfunction. So it's not the black woman's fault. It's not a black man's fault. It's us fault.
Exactly. That's what we. Thank you. It's. I'm getting tired, and I ain't trying to interrupt Dana, but literally, y'all didn't catch it, man. There's no him and her. It's we. Like, no matter what, it's like it's. And I'm not sure if y'all ever been in a war zone. I can always say, well, he shot first. Well, shit. 2 days ago, he shot. We're gonna always be able to throw the mud, but at some point, you're gonna be like, "Yo, dude, are you not tired?" Like it's like, and that's why I use the excuse of I may have my issues with some people on my panel, but I have no problem of, yo, call me after the show. I will text them, say, yo, just call me after the show. We could talk, but I'm not about to get on no panel and slander them. And it's not for y'all entertainment. Fuck y'all. Y'all can kiss my ass. Like, we'll handle that closed door. We're going to do this closed door. This is not about to be something where we do this. And I'm not going to listen. A lot of people. This is why when you look at the professional side of certain other talking points, like I said, this YouTube shit don't represent me. Y'all, I'm just being honest. I ain't seen not one YouTube channel ever represent me. You don't. Y'all ain't never made no content that ever appeased me, ever actually reflected on what I do or what I'm about. You just don't. I mean, shit, I'm honestly, I represent myself. Now, there's some people that have talking points that I can fuck with, but I watch what a lot of y'all say on different panels, and I'm like, oh, okay, cool. All right, let me just make sure I say just enough with you, but not everything. I mean, it is what it is. But this poll, I'm not going to say this is what all black women think. And if you think that all black women think like this, then you're a dumbass. Because then that would be almost like me saying that when the women were saying all the men in the manosphere are pedophiles, then I heard some people say, nah, that's not true. They're not like that. Do y'all not see the slander wars that y'all play? We got Cyber Lion, and then we got J.I. What's up, Cyber
I wanted to say something with something that somebody said before about how come you don't see other groups of people talking about this.
Right? Yeah.
Well, number one, I just want to make a distinction. I'm not Arab, so
my bad. My bad.
No, it's okay. It's okay. Just want to make that distinction.
You get along with Anand so well. Like, God damn it. Like,
yeah. Well, because I get along with you so well, BMT.
True. Very well said.
So what is your background, Ori? So I know.
I'm Indian. As in the country of India.
Okay.
Yes, he is India. You did tell me that.
So yeah, it's okay. Like,
you said don't get that mixed up, honey.
Yeah, because because a lot of people think that India is part of the Arab world. No, India is part of the South Asian world. Basically, the Arab world is considered, like all the Arabian countries that are Islamic based. But since India isn't one of those, we're not part of that. So we're like Cambodia and like all those other countries, But anyway, going back to it, somebody was saying why other cultures don't talk about this stuff. Because other cultures have internal honor systems in the sense that, look, you're supposed to be doing what you're supposed to be doing. If I catch you doing some shit that you're not supposed to be doing, there's no protection. That's an unwritten rule. Like, how in baseball you got unwritten rules? It's part of the culture. So for us, people know that if they get caught up in some kind of Megan Thee Stallion shit where she's messing with guys that she ain't supposed to be messing with, there's no protection from us. There's no protection. You mess with somebody that you weren't supposed to be messing with, the type of stuff that you're going to deal with or the type of the stuff you walked into. Period.
Absolutely, right? Sir. Absolutely.
And that's the type of stuff that happens in cultures, And by the way, a stallion is a male horse, not a female horse. Just wanted to put that out there.
I will get to that content later, Yori. I will get to that later.
But anyway,
a mare is a female horse.
Oh, right. But anyway, I just thought that was kind of interesting. Just a little bit of humor.
I will get to that later. Why she's.
All right, well, let me hop in there.
But anyway,
I got to get it over. I got to get over to Cyber. Let me keep it in order. Cyber, are you here, man?
Okay. Yes, I'm here. Can you hear me clearly?
Okay. Yeah. So you done seen the poll. I done showed you the history film of 1976, which we all agreed that wasn't that long ago. Literally, I'm an 80s child, so literally that was around the time of my sister and my brother. So,
someone have some feedback. It's hard to hear you.
Everyone mute up.
My mic is mute.
I know you are. You and that fan. We got can you still hear feedback?
Yeah, Dempsey, is he mute Dempsey?
Yeah. I got it.
There we go.
All right, go ahead. Now try so you done seen the poll, have you not? And literally some people are saying that under a group of oppression, they feel more safer than with either dealing with their own.
Yes, I have seen it. And I think Dana mentioned it. She mentioned what all of us who have common sense, and mostly all of us who are in the know, who have been hanging around this YouTube nebula for some time, and we know who the synthetic one is. And she runs a synthetic programs. I call it the synthetic protocol. And you know, when you when you look at the subscriber number up underneath that channel, there's about 30K or 37K, and anyone familiar with the history of this individual knows that she has, I guess, a psychological degree, but she doesn't practice in her field. She's using, I guess, some of those concepts and foundations as other professionals would in different areas, such as YouTube. And she's using, those psychological tactics to drive her social media initiative, which in a different light, I couldn't blame one for doing that. But we're talking about this particular subject here. And I think everyone knows that anyone who subscribes, tunes in, or listens in to her specific brand of content, they know very well. Actually, they understand that she has a way, as Dana said, of lighting the gas. She knows a very large percentage of those other women, and that's the other thing, BMT and everyone. When you look at the poll and you see who the poll's coming from, the very first thing that I think a lot of us say in our brains is, that's interesting. I wonder who the percentage of the pollsters were. I certainly didn't get anything in the mail, or I didn't get anything across my email. I know Dana probably didn't get anything in her email, and that probably would go for a lot of other specifically Black women who, would sign up for the poll, or whoever would get it. And so that right there leads into reasonable doubt, very questionable in terms of the veracity of such a poll. Number one. The other thing I want to mention is that when it comes to this protection thing, I always say it and I'll say it again. The women who are just simply doing what they're supposed to be doing, even if they don't have a man, they're not the ones who are complaining about this construct of protection. And I think that this construct, I call it a construct because it's a construct, because people who are aligned, right, doing what they're supposed to do, whether they're in a relationship or marriage or not, or they're single or individual, it's about being neighborly is number one. So if I see something happening to Dana where she's getting beat upside the head or kicked upside the head, to a degree, using wisdom, and I see that situation, if I'm looking to say, you know what, a guy's about to pull out a gun and about to hit her or shoot her or stab her in my presence, it's not very wise of me as an individual, whether it was Dana as a Black woman or anyone else as a white woman, to intervene in a manner that could potentially take away from not only me as a human life, but if I have a family, I have to also be wise enough to consider them in that moment. What's the better choice? Maybe if I step to the side and pick up my phone and call 911 or call the police officer, and say, hey, there's a woman here. She's in conflict with a man. I don't know if this is her husband or a boyfriend or a stalker, but she seems to be in a lot of trouble. I'm at this location. He can't see me, but I can see them. Please send someone right away. And I think as a man, again, when we hear this construct of protection, it's not to knock women for the use of that construct, But we have to be disciplined enough to say, okay, I know what my responsibilities are, and I'm going to work these responsibilities out. There may be times where a woman or women may not like that process. But again, I'm gonna use Dana. She's a Black woman. If she has a husband in her household,
you got 1 minute left.
Sure. If she has a husband in her household, Dana most likely isn't gonna be concerned about another Black man not fulfilling his responsibilities and duties that he's supposed to be doing in his household or for himself. She's going to be judging her man, relative to where she is. And I think until we understand how this construct is being used and what people are really trying to get out of it, I think then BMT will be able to have we'll be able to fly clear skies.
Okay. Thank you. And I'm about to pass it to J.I. I want to say this, and do other men from other cultures just run up and jump in for women? No, they don't. They don't. Depending on the situation. I know we like to believe what we see on YouTube or YouTube videos or little things of heroic story. That's why it's called a news story, because it's something somebody's doing out of the ordinary. That means they don't normally do it. It has to be a reactory trait. Now, if I see somebody get into a conflict, and I've seen that on Black Friday, dude was up in the female's face. She was moving away from the cart. He was stepping constantly towards her. I said, yo, my nigga, what are you doing? Nah, this motherfucking, I'm like, you point a finger. Guess what? I said, yo, fall back. Nah, nigga. I'm like, nah. She want to talk to me? She gonna get dealt like a man. Then I said, I guess I gotta fuck you up like a man. Because you doing the most. She got the TV already in her cart. You know the rules of shopping. Whoever got it in their cart first, it's theirs. You trying to take a whole TV out of her cart. Now you trying to threaten her. So other people, but see, the thing about it is, when one sees it, sometimes it can spur the crowd to actually say, you know what? Yeah, that's not right. Now, I get it. There's been a lot of different issues going on. And I'm not telling y'all. I don't care what people try to say to tell me about what's simp or what it's an honor code amongst me. I'm not saying I'm running out there playing Luke Cage or any other that said stuff, but I do have a code that when somebody's moving within their femininity, whether it be any of the women on my panel or literally it could be a guy that literally he just is not willing to fight. I'll tell the other guy, yo, fall back. It don't have to just be about me just protecting women. I do it for men also. Hey man, he's not a fighter. I'm a fighter. I don't mind breaking your jaw. It's very easy. But I'm at that inhumane part of my life. But if I know it where y'all having a disagreement, that does not give you the right to put your hands or step to anybody. But I'm also the same way to where I see a woman. If you start putting your hands on a man and he is all of a sudden, he's tired of it and he hit you back, I'm sorry. That's you. I will call security. I'm not about to jump in. Nobody, man or woman, has the right to put their hands on you. Women, you don't have the right to put your hand on a man. I don't care what you say. Well, I'm weaker than him biologically. Get bullshit. I've seen small women that are literally 5'3" kill men over 6 foot tall. All you need is the right hit. All he needs to do is fall the right way. Man fell the right way, landed in the parking lot. You know the bumpers where you park your car at? Dude landed right, head hit right smack down on the rebar bar. She said, get up. He's playing. He didn't get up. He bled out and died. It only takes one good hit the right way. So y'all gotta understand, any and everybody can possibly be killed. But nobody has the right. Now she's looking at doing years. So we got to take this seriously. Danny ain't gonna tell her son to let no female, or I'm sure the same thing for Kelly. I'm willing to bet them two mothers told their son, you don't let no bitch put their hands on you. I'm willing to put my life on that. Because they know
Absolutely.
that some of these young little females get pretty rowdy, and they feel like, yo, I can step and put my hands on a man. But also, don't be doing no secret little pillow talk with no female telling you gonna pull her out of a relationship. Expect there are gonna be some consequences. J.I., you got the floor. Go ahead, brother.
All right, thanks for having me, BMT.
Yeah,
let me walk this backwards with going to what BMT said. Ladies, you might get lucky and catch you a BMT that's gonna step in and help you with whatever. But going back and forth, and I've seen this a lot. Women going back and forth with a man, cussing out a man publicly or whatever, you get what's coming to you. If that man hauled off on you, if I was in BMT spot, it would have been not. I kept on moving. Because I've seen too many of these women, okay, cuss out a man or do whatever, and then once they catch the consequences, that's just it. You catch the consequences. And nowadays, a lot of people, men and women, are carrying weapons. So it's not even fighting no more. Somebody's gonna get shot. And that's just what it is. And I'm not about to put myself in that situation for a bitch. Where's your husband? That's my thing. Number one, where's your husband or your man at? Okay, if you don't need one, fine, then you handle that. You need to pull whatever you got in your purse or whatever. You need to handle that. No, bitch, you're on your own. And if you don't have anything, you should, in my opinion, it's not feminine to be going back and forth with a man anyway. Why are you doing that? Why are you going back and forth with a man? No, you don't. That's not your place to do that. But that's just my opinion. Now, going back to what Iori says, if you do something out of pocket, if you're a woman, you do something out of pocket, you don't deserve protection for that. My whole thing on this is already clear. You're not getting no protection from me unless you're mine. And if you're mine, you already know the rules that I gave you to govern yourself, because people aren't just out here jumping out the bushes, jumping on bitches. That's a lie. These women are cussing out men, getting into it with men, arguing with men, putting themselves in situations because they're equal, right? And then once they catch that equal treatment, then they want to run. Oh no, I'm a woman. How could you do that? No, fuck that bitch. She knew what she was doing when she cussed the man out. These women have some of the most foul mouths. Going to that Meg Thee Stallion situation, I know that bitch because she's a typical hood bitch. We all seen this all the time at the chicken spot, the Chinese spot. We know what these bitches do. She got to call them all kinds of bitches. Probably was poking his head, doing whatever, slapping him. No, you're not gonna leave. We know the playbook. We know how these hoes do. And then he wasn't having it. She probably overpowered him because he's small. The dude's only 5'3". So she probably overpowered him, and he was like, nah, fuck it. And he let her have it. I don't feel bad for that bitch. She put herself in that situation, period. And in general, these women that cry foul, like they don't have protection, don't have husbands, number one. They are from I am woman, strong and whatever. That's fine. So you deal with the consequences. You don't get to operate however you want. Okay, and just carte blanche, and there's no consequences for it. That's not how life works. And if you're really equal, like a man would, then you're accountable for what comes out your mouth. If I'm in the store and a man says something to another man and they end up fighting, he get his ass whooped, we all understand as men, hey, you got smart at the mouth, you got what you got. Same rules apply for a bitch. Same rules apply. If you get to getting smart with a man and he slap you in your mouth, hey, you didn't have to say anything to him. You could have walked away. And again, what? What's up?
Now, question.
Yeah.
If a woman were to get smart with you, because Lord knows I got one of the smart mouthed women in the world I know right now. Her avatar is to the right of me. Literally, I was watching her pick fights with a man last night. I swear to God, I couldn't be at a bar with Dana. She probably
no, that's that online stuff. I'm not talking about online.
Hold on now. No, I believe that's Dana. That is Dana. Dana.
Oh no, I know. I'm saying I'm not gonna take it there with a bitch or with anybody online because this is internet.
Now the thing about it is this: do you think if a woman out there in the street got smart with a man, that the man has a right to, smack her?
If a bitch gets smart with a man, no, I'm not saying that man has a right to smack her. I'm saying if that bitch gets smart with a man and then that man slap her in her mouth, I don't care about it because you shouldn't have getting smart. That's what I'm saying.
I have a question. I thought I was on mute. Because you keep saying that you wouldn't protect a bitch, but would you protect?
You sound like domestic violence.
Oh, dangerous.
So
what's domestic violence?
Oh,
right, but no, I have a
question. Man slapping a woman?
That's between that man and that woman.
Hold on, I want to hear Dana's question.
Yeah, go ahead.
The question I wanted to ask J.I., you said you wouldn't protect a bitch, and you keep saying bitch, 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 but would you protect a woman?
You know what?
You cut me off. Hold on. Go ahead, get it out so I can answer.
I asked the question. I said, you said you wouldn't protect a bitch because you kept saying bitch. I'm saying, okay, well, would you protect a woman?
Not if she's not mine, no. If she's not
so
mine, no.
If you see a woman getting beat up on the street, you would call the cops.
Yeah, if a woman was getting beat up on the street, if I didn't see what caused it, then yeah, I will call for some kind of help for her. But if she was cussing out a dude or something and she started getting her ass whooped, that's her business. I'm just going on about my day.
You know what? I can see where he's coming. I can see where he's coming from, and I actually appreciate Dana for asking that question because when she asked it, I'll be honest, I'll be transparent.
Hold on. This chick in the chat, see, she said you do domestic violence offline.
Well, no, don't worry about her. Don't worry about that. That's
no. But this is my point. This is what I'm saying. Women say whatever,
that's a distraction.
Hold on. Women say any and everything about a man, and then desert. No, you're not getting nothing. Good luck.
Well, just again,
good luck.
Leave that alone.
Again,
and nobody's going to say anything about it, though. That's my point. Nobody's going to say anything about it.
But the power is to leave it in the dust. And so I want to kind of stay right where you and Dana were with that question. And like I said, I appreciate Dana for asking that question. And I want to be transparent because when she asked it, what I wanted to say was, is there a difference between the behavior exhibited by, quote unquote, unsavory female, i.e. bitch, or more classy female, i.e. a woman? And
let's stay away from the word bitch today. Let's stay away from the word bitch for
right. So sorry about that. So and what I wanted to say, I understand where you're coming from, and I think what you're saying is fair. If you see somebody's personal business spilling out into the street, and number one, you're not obligated to really get into someone else's business. Is it nice to be neighborly? Yes, it's always nice to do the right thing where you can do it. But is there an obligation? Absolutely not. And so, if I see, like you said, a guy, and for the physical aspect, and we know this is what's being said really isn't physical to kind of sound the reverb of what people are saying. That protection, isn't necessarily physical. That's one part. But I iterated over saying some of that protection comes in the form of the guy doing his responsibility in various different ways where there isn't a manifestation of physicality. So you could be, in your home, if you're not doing your responsibilities, or if you're not picking off stray situations that could upend your household or upend your woman's mentality, and you see those situations coming, or you see her under duress, yet you fail to act, or you fail to redirect these strays, then from that sense of protection, you are failing to provide the protection because you aren't acting, and that isn't a physical sense, but there's a physical sense of protection, and then there's the responsibility part of the protection in terms of doing the right thing, and I think we really have to make that clear.
All right, let me finish my thing.
Let me go ahead. I got to do my thing. I got to do commercials. That's going to supersede all of y'all. So y'all don't overrule my commercials. So let me get to the commercial time. Welcome to the chat, Rob B. Let's go ahead and do this. So commercial time is the one time where I get to showcase the works of my fellow compatriots. Starting off with the one, the only, the real Dana with the data. I then told her to change that paper, but she yet to keep it. It's okay. But Dana with the data, which also has Magados, as well as, God damn, she got so many stuff going on. Does Your Sister, I think that's the sisterhood thing. And she also has Keeping Manning Up with Judge Joe Brown. She has a lot of stuff that she does. A lot. And she's a good content creator. Her taste in hoodie is questionable. But other than that, I love Dana. She is one of the co-hosts of the BMT Hour of Power. And literally, she is a good friend of mine that I would protect. Her content is very good. She's straightforward and cutthroat. And she's very equal about this stuff. So y'all got to check her out. If you got a thick skin, find her. Next we have is D. Darrell. D. Darrell is one of the most level brothers when it comes to talking about conscious therapeutic therapy. I'm sorry. Y'all need some therapy. A lot of y'all need therapy. I'm highly recommending y'all to go to D. Darrell for therapy. He talks about therapy, relationships, marriages, the mindset of a lot of people, why people are doing what they're doing. I'm waiting for him just to write a book because literally, I could write a book off of YouTube, man. Probably be like a bestseller for 6 years. And literally, he needs to help him do that. But honestly, he covered over a lot of stuff in the psychology and the mental breakdown. We also have Robbie. She just joined in and snuck up on us, but also we did a show with Robbie just yesterday where literally we do our talks every Tuesday. I think she does a game show where she takes a bunch of content creators and she puts us in a game show. But literally with me, Robbie, and Dana, as well as I think it's whoever. Sometimes I don't even know who's the fourth guy that coming in. It might be Stop and Playing or Danny or whoever. But we do content talking about everything. She is heavily balanced and centered around family, accountability, God, faith, relationship, accountability, being on your P's and Q's. And the last person, but never least, and I meant to grab him, but I guess Kelly will be representing him. Is my brother Maurice Delk, thick skin only. Kelly, would he be from MAGA? Would he be MAGA? Shit, I don't even know, Kelly. We don't even know.
It's all over the place.
It's all over the place right now. We're still trying to figure out where the hell we stand. But literally, it's where I go over there. I talk with different people. Shout out to Dre. We do, and literally we talk about black issues with stuff going on with white people. Some of them, and a lot of them want to hear about them. Like we listen and we talk about history and talk about riots and different tension in the country and stuff. And people want to know. People want to know. I mean, y'all can't say y'all want to talk about reparations and not think that you're not going to have to deal with the opposite side and talk with them. That's crazy. You're going to have to either at the courthouse or there in some type of official building. So you might as well start getting out your talking points now and learning how to actually articulate them. So shout out to Maurice. We've been collabing together alongside with Kelly, his thing, his boo, his wife. That's what I called them. And literally they've been working things out. So we're back to it on the show.
All right, let me finish off. What's this? But my point is this: on the whole protection piece, the solution is simple. Get yourself a husband, okay? Get yourself a husband, obey him, submit to his rules, okay, and he will protect you. That's what it is. Feminism, all that stuff. If you want to be by yourself, do whatever you want, fine. Just take what comes with it. Don't be expecting. That's what brought all this stuff about. Don't be expecting anybody. Hold on, man. You about to get your turn, man. Hold on, I'm almost done.
Hold on, let him finish. Let him finish.
You ain't be talking about nothing anyway, man. Why you always so quick to interrupt me, man?
Whoa.
Get your slipping on.
Yeah.
Damn, man! Like every time you say the same shit.
Man, shut your dumb ass up with your wanna be rap career having ass, man.
Dumb ass up. We kind of hit the
Nobody wants to hear that dumb
over and
shit.
over
Hold on,
again.
man. You gonna get your turn
Over
with your cake.
When you gonna have some diversity in this shit that you talk about? Put some
chill. Y'all two chill. Strike one. Thank you. We can't do that. We cannot do that. Literally, y'all two stop. I love y'all, but we cannot. This has nothing to do with.
I didn't even say anything to him, BMT. He started
listen,
that with me, man.
Okay, so we'll move on. We'll be moving on because, like I said, this is where we start losing the analytics of the views because people are tired of fighting. People are tired of seeing us fight. They want solutions. I don't want to say a man has to get married to be nurtured by a woman. That's unfair. But also, I don't want to say a woman has to be married to a man for her to be protected. That's I know a lot of people that don't want to get married anymore. They're like, I don't want to be married. Like that's
question for you.
All right, let me finish because he hopped in while I was talking. Nobody even saying nothing to him or about him.
Whoa.
Real quick.
Hang on. Okay, we got Rob B coming.
No, don't ask me nothing.
One question, man.
Okay,
just let me finish.
We'll
wait until he passes the mic to you. Let me finish.
Listen. We got to move on to Robbie.
Hey,
Robbie.
Hey,
Robbie.
First of all, hey BMT, how you doing? Thank you for having me.
How you doing, love?
I'm all right. I'm okay. I was gonna say shout out to everybody in the chat. Hey to everybody on the panel. But ladies, if you feel like black men ain't protecting you, then protect yourself. Go get a gun. Go to the range. Go take some classes. Go learn how to shoot. Be a precision sniper. Because unfortunately, you got black men in this world that don't want to protect you, that won't protect you unless you're under their power, under their thumb. And that's it speaks poorly for them because they would want somebody to protect their mother. They would want somebody to protect their daughter, and they would want somebody to protect their sisters. But we ain't going to get into all of that because I don't want to bash anybody. But if they don't want to protect you, F them. Who cares? Get a gun. Andy, go get your gun. Get your tasers. Get your mace. Handle your business. Because at the end of the day, women like Cynthia G making posts like that, all that does is pour fuel on a gasoline fire, and it makes it burn out of control because it always devolves into, well, black women need to marry someone and be submissive. Well, black men ain't shit. Who cares? Who cares? Find somebody like-minded and build your family up. And that's coming from a woman that is married. I still know how to take care of me. God forbid something happens to my husband. That part.
No, that's real. Like, listen, y'all. Like, I want y'all to understand this, man.
That's that wisdom again. There she goes with that wisdom again. I bet.
Like I said, the thing about it was this, man.
Thanks, boo.
I want y'all to understand that me and Mimi, we had our times where we were apart. And the one thing I did before I walked out that door, I want y'all to understand, before I walked out that door, I took a doggone 357 and I put her in her hands. And I said, I am not going to be here. I'm going to be 18 hours away. And I know you might be praying that some blue-eyed or some man, see, a lot of women, when they get alone and they feel like, oh shit, they'll run to another man. And the ladies here can tell you that.
But see, BMT, that was you being proactive.
But there we go. See, Renaissance, you know my spirit. I knew I was going to always be there. So I said, regardless of the situation that we're in, I took the gun and put it in her hand. She began to cry. I said, now it's on you. I said, aim for the chest, and aim for the groin. I promise you, that will stop it. Anything for the chest and the groin, don't go for the head. That's stupid. Go from chest to groin. Ladies, I'm giving y'all a quick lesson. Chest to groin. I promise you. You hit them there anywhere in that area, they will stop. So I put in her hand 2 pistols. And I taught her how to shoot at least 20 yards out. That's from the front of that door. That's from the bedroom door to the bathroom. I literally marked everywhere where she could drop a man with no problem. See her goddamn. Listen, she said, you know her. She said, I repent. She said she pretended to catch my ass in the bedroom cheating. I said, damn, that's how you visual and shit. She said, yeah, I'm getting pretty good at it. I said, okay, whatever, get your buzz. But you know what? I know that broad can shoot. And the thing about it, y'all, I tell y'all ladies right now, if you ain't got a man, you better go get the next hard steel thing between y'all legs. Go get that pistol. That piece be steel. And y'all, I want y'all fellas to understand that these women these days are starting to pack. They're starting to pack where y'all think that, okay, you can smack her, but don't let her get to that car. Don't let her. There's a reason. I now understand why they carrying these big bags these days. That big bag is an indicator. Kelly know what I'm talking about. Ron, Dana know what I'm talking about. When they carrying that big bag, there's something in that bag. Something that's going to shut you down. The great equalizer is right there. It don't matter how big you are, how bad you are, you only need one good hit. You going down. So once I put that in, empowered her with that, and best believe my daughters, they're gonna get theirs. Before they go to college, I'm gonna put $1,000 in their bank and I'm gonna put a piece of steel on them. God help any man that feel that he gonna fuck with my baby. I don't give a fuck who you are. Jaquan, Tommy, Lavarius, Shaheed, fuck y'all. You put your hand on my baby, that might be the quickest way out. It's through them. But I understand I don't tell my daughters to depend on no man for protection. Mm-hmm. I tell my sons, don't depend on no woman for nurturing. You learn how to do that yourself. We are in a day and age where it's a case by case. Now, if I see somebody in a need, yes, I know I'm an anomaly. But I've also seen it where I have seen situations and literally she has grabbed my arm. I had women grab my arm and say, nah, don't jump into that yet. Let's see how it plays out. Women will do that. Women are better discernments of the situation than men are. Because they'll read. That's why, y'all ever been with a woman in a room? They'll read the room about the females. While men, if you're attentive, you'll be on guard for the family. Women are attentive to the herd. That's why the lioness, she goes out on the hunt. The men protect the goddamn pride. There's a symbolism in that. She's attentive, you protect. If I were to see something going on in my community, and whether it be a domestic or whatever going on, I'm not going to allow it to fly because, see, when you allow one evil to fly, other evils follow after. We're going to like, well, shit. Daquan done slapped his girl up right there and nobody said anything. So, shit, best believe I'm going to do the same thing.
Yeah, BMT, I wanted to quickly tag into what you were saying.
Yeah,
it kind of ties back earlier to a comment that was made about I can't really, one person on the board was saying something along the lines of black men just wanted to have black women on their thumbs and this and that, and it would be horrible. And I was like, but the thing that people miss in this conversation is you're going to have people like yourself, people who have daughters in that situation. So you're going to have a group of people who are going to have a check against, hey, y'all can't just, be completely domineering and, taking away all women's rights and this and that, because you got dudes who have daughters who are like, I'm not going to stand for that for my daughter. So there's a balance that counters that.
Right.
If you have a natural community.
Right. Yeah. And that's actually speaking a lot on that. I want y'all to understand this. A lot of fathers, and D. Darrell will tell you himself, we tell our daughters not to play that okie doke shit with these men these days, because we know how men can be. Just like women, single mothers tell their sons about these fast little honeys, and you got Kelly, you got Raw, you got Dana up here, so they'll tell you. Men tell their daughters the ways of the man. So when a man comes and say, "Yo, why ain't these females giving me any time of day?" That's because they got Cyber Lion who's gonna tell his daughter. Renaissance, J.I., D. Darrell. That is y'all job as the men, Iori. When y'all have y'all daughters, y'all, I promise you, you are not about you ain't gonna tell your daughter to be docile and submit. You gonna tell her, no, I raised you to be strong. Learn how to stand on your own. If you tell her to be docile, submit, you just told her to be a lamb to the motherfucking slaughter. No, respect and love is earned in the home, not just given. You give somebody that, you just gave them the keys of access to everything you are. You don't give that shit away to anybody. I'm telling y'all that out of experience. I gave it to the wrong person. I lost my child. My child was handed to me in a shoebox. Another woman gave it to me. She died. Her and my child. Respect is earned. Love is earned. It's an honor code. It's an honor system between men and women. So we got to have the real conversation. I'm never going to tell, like, y'all got to understand, I'm going to be for real. I've heard men say the same shit. Cynthia G is not the first one to say this. She's just saying it from the female perspective. I want y'all to hear me. She is not the first one to say this. How many times have men talked about their lives will be better being with a white woman? They would be safer. They would be more okay. They would be more protected being with a white woman or a woman of a different culture. Let's not play these disingenuous games. Or are we going to pretend that we had not heard? So the women sat there in the chat and they listened. And now this is their rebuttals. They doing it too. Crystal Carolyn and Cynthia G's and shit, they don't speak for none of the women I fuck with. This is baby mama number 6. Let that set in. So shit, ain't that much goddamn self-sustaining integrity. So y'all can play the game if y'all want. I love y'all. I fuck with y'all, but we gotta stop making seem like this mentality is the norm. We gotta stop saying this is the norm. These 66 or 65%, they do not speak for the majority. They don't. That's like saying somebody going around saying that black men, you are the worst society. And a black man saying, does that make it true? No. But we've heard it. We've heard it before. Somebody being born in a community that they can't help being born in. But he could probably be one of the smartest person that could probably cure goddamn COVID-19. But we'll think he's the devil. Because he was born and he dresses a certain type of way. Let's stop with the narrative, though. Go ahead. Let me pass it back up to I gotta get it up there to Iori. Iori, and then I got Iori, and then I got Kelly. I only got so much time that I want to go. Go ahead, Iori.
Yeah, all I'm saying is start paying attention to people's software over their hardware, regardless of what it is. You know, that's how successful cultures basically teach people how to do things. Because the thing is, when you decide to have a relationship or a marriage with somebody, you've got to make sure that you and her are headed in the same mental direction. Otherwise, it's just going to fall apart. You know, and it goes back to the whole Cynthia G thing, right? The people that said that they feel more comfortable with white supremacy over black men have proven themselves to be 100% non-negotiable in terms of dealing with it, right? And that's why understanding where somebody's going and where the two of you mentally are means a lot in terms of long-term relationships, period.
Okay. Kelly, the protection piece. Are y'all telling y'all sons to protect these women? And I want to ask the mothers. That on these panels. We have
Being
Dana.
honest.
Yep,
Oh,
go
sorry.
ahead. Go ahead. Yeah. But
Being
I want to know,
honest,
are y'all telling y'all sons to go run up and protect them?
absolutely not. And I would never tell him that. And I'll be honest and say that he has a half sister with a few different kids and had some baby daddy drama, and called him. I tell him, don't go get involved in that shit. That's her problem. Sorry, not sorry. And I would not say that. I wouldn't tell him that. Even with a woman you mentioned earlier, he had an aggressive girlfriend, and I was about ready to Donkey Kong her ass in my hallway.
You wouldn't put your hands on another woman that literally that they ain't know better.
Yes, you will if they put in their hands on your son. Yes, you will.
Yes,
Y'all women for to teach y'all sons to keep their hands to themselves, even if he's like ripping up her shirt and everything, ripping up his shirt. That's not the way y'all women should be acting. Y'all need to teach y'all men how to keep their hands to themselves.
I teach both of them to keep their hands to themselves.
Yeah,
right. But if somebody is hitting your son,
Robbie,
if somebody's hitting your son that you know you raised to keep their hands to themselves, fuck that. Then you gotta go over there and whoop a bitch's ass. Like, don't put your hands on my son. He only has one mother.
Facts.
Hold on. Wait. You know, I'm gonna ask y'all later about that because that now I'm just asking y'all because y'all as a woman, y'all should be telling y'all son that's a female. You can't put your hands on her, even if she's crying and she ripping his shirt or slapping him. He's a man. He needs to know how to.
There is a thing called restraining a woman. Okay.
How do you do that?
If it gets too out of control, I hate to say this, but would I tell him to smack the shit out of her? Yep. I'm not gonna tell him. I'm not gonna tell him to sit up there and let her potentially stab him or break his nose, or if you can't restrain her, I can't imagine that he couldn't, but if it got that, you have to protect yourself. No, sir. And that's why I don't, and I learned this at a young age, I don't play with men's emotions. Two things men die over: women and money. You cannot, when a man is all in and loves you, they will go to the end of the world for you. We're wired different. So I don't play with male emotions.
Lord have mercy, man.
Big facts.
No, it's not big.
But that shows a level of maturity on her part that some women may not have.
As a woman crying, she has a right to hit me in my chest and slap me. And as a man, I'm supposed to be a man and take that.
Hell no.
No, because here's the thing. And this is as a woman that has survived a domestic violence relationship. And I had to learn. You cannot stop fire with fire. Let me repeat that. You cannot stop fire with fire. So women, no matter how emotional you get, y'all need to learn how to use your words. Don't think you're going to throw water in the dude's face. Don't think you're going to throw, remotes at him and shoes at him and embarrass him and emasculate him and keep pecking at his masculinity and think he's not going to have a response. There is always a way to resolve a conflict, an issue, a situation without using your hands. And women that are real free with their hands, putting hands on men because they think, oh, well, I'm a woman, I could hit him and he can't hit me. You're going to get that karma back one way or another. It's going to be his sister, his mother, his aunt, his cousins, whatever. Somebody's going to come fight you. He could call the police on you and you could go to jail.
Other females to go back and beat that girl's ass?
Yes.
When did y'all start having this kind of organization?
That's cold. That's cold. If I
cold is
know,
that?
if I know that my brother is the type of man and he was raised the type of way, and I know it's not in his character to put his hands on no woman, and a woman cuts my brother, or a woman punches my brother in the face, now my brother got marks on him and he's upset because he's controlling himself as a man, and a woman has done that to him. I gotta get his catch back for him because he can't do it, and that's gonna go against everything that he was raised to be, because attitude reflects leadership.
I would say even that though
You know
is
what?
nonsense, because if he's away from the danger, it's no point to go back just to whatever. If it's in the moment, that's different. But that whole, I would say that's a mistake in and of itself. The relationship should just be over. I'm not
You
about
know
to
what?
call a bitch to go beat up another. That's that hood shit. No,
You know.
once it's over,
But it's
it's
not even
over.
about calling somebody to come and
You know
handle the
what though?
business. It's
She has a
about,
point. She has a point,
No,
and
that
it
revenge stuff is foolishness. No,
is no disrespect to and Raw. I'm not trying to. I don't want to peg you when I say this, but I'll be honest. I have, well, formerly, I had a whole bunch of female homies. Yeah, if it was a chick out there or some chicks out there that was on the boo boo, all I had to do was pick up my phone and be like, hey, this chick, she tripping. Or if they seen chicks tripping, I had that type of reputation and relationship. I was cool with chicks. I wasn't trying to strike everything. I was cool with chicks. And it was some chicks that I knew that was from the hood. And yeah, they were cool chicks. They good grades, everything, honor roll, advanced classes. But guess what? Them sisters would come and stump a hole in you to keep that dude from getting himself in a lot of trouble. And so no, just like what Ross said, I
that's
had a bunch of
dysfunctional, man.
female homies. That's not dysfunctional.
You're already away from the danger.
I
There's no
call that
need
good
for her to
looking.
intercede.
But you know what?
You're going back to get revenge.
I call that good looking out.
That's
now hang on. Now I got a question.
Best course of action.
Now I got a question. Now I hear what J.I. is saying, but I still got to get it up to Dana. You know what I'm saying? If I hear something different from her, boy, I'm gonna have to call her son. We're gonna have a talk on the phone about this. But I want to say that I know listen, I usually call these girls, I used to call them the Negro Avengers. That literally, if you hit their little cousin, he's a little goddamn pretty boy. Goddamn, I don't know where these the pack of the horde would come from. But they were when you see that goddamn Buick roll up to your house, oh, they were coming. All 9 of them will somehow get out that car, boy. They were gonna find a way to get you. And you survive the wrath. Now, I don't know. They were just gonna get you.
Hold on,
just
BMT.
saying.
Let me say something real quick, because people are talking about you can't.
That's a suburb.
People are talking about you can't teach a grown adult a lesson, and once you're out of danger, it's everything. No, it's not. If you guys didn't catch when I covered the Betty Broderick story, her husband was out of danger. Her husband was in a whole other house. He was in a whole other relationship, getting ready to have a whole other child. But she got into the habit of throwing things at him and being verbally abusive to him. And even though he was doing wrong and they weren't in actual physical danger, there was emotional torment. And she came back while he was sleeping in his bed with his pregnant wife and killed the both of them. So just because
that's not going to be prevented by somebody going to fight her after the fact, that's that juvenile hood stuff. That doesn't fix anything.
Hang on, let me go ahead. Let me go ahead and get it up to real Dana. But I can answer it over from me and the Orioles, boy. When I say revenge crowds, they are real. Yeah, they are real. they Dana, how you doing? Hi.
Okay. What was the question about our kids and women trying to touch them?
No. How you go to kids and touching?
Women try to beat them up. Beat them up. I'm sorry.
I was saying. That's the last thing I did over here. All I'm saying is this: do women teach their sons? Are women teaching their sons, listen, about when it comes to abuse? Like, hey, take them slaps or them lumps, or like Ra was saying, like, hey, you get out of there, and I'll let we'll handle that. Like the sisterhood will handle that. Like, what's your thoughts on all that? You ain't no fighter.
Well, I don't know. I just teach my son. Of course, he knows never to put his hands on a woman, but if a woman puts her hands on him, he knows how to defend himself, to diffuse it, and leave, and don't deal with her ever again. Don't sit up there and fight a woman.
Mute up, whoever that is. What do you got?
No, that's outside construction. Sorry.
Oh, God, man.
Sorry, but yeah. So if he gets into an argument and she starts hitting him and stuff, like, I just walk away. Of course, you want to protect yourself, but all that hitting her back or fighting her for what? Push her away, which is easy to do, to whatever maneuver. Walk away. And then if she try to charge you, especially if she pick up something, call the cops on her ass. Get it in writing, because you can't trust women, especially you can't trust women like that. Always protect yourself. So it's not about you smacking her one good time because she punched you or whatever. No, it's about, at the end of the day, she wants to sit up here and lie. She'll sit up here and lie on you. So I would just say, protect yourself, and call the authorities and get that shit in writing, and never deal with a woman like that again.
I
say the same thing with my daughter. Don't go around hitting nobody. I don't care if you mad at your husband or not. You don't put your hands on him, because he may be the type to lay his hands on you just so you could back the hell off, and you're not going to like it. Then you're going to be hooping and hollering, and I'm not going to step into that. You know what I'm saying? And again, I think it was Cypher, when someone was like, "Is when you do see like a couple fighting, a lot of times you should mind your business. You should understand logic of the situation. Like, yeah, you may call the authorities, but really, I wouldn't say your first instinct should be to step in, because a lot of times she's going to go back to him. And where does that leave you? You know what I'm saying? So
Exactly.
I don't get into
Exactly.
I don't get into marital disputes with people. Like, if my daughter, she has an issue and she complains, I don't get in the middle of that, because she's going to stay.
Right.
So that's
we know BMT coming with the musket. He's not gonna.
Well, fathers are different. Yeah, I mean,
he's coming with that musket.
It's what I'm saying. It's different when a mother approaches a situation than a father, because the father, yeah, you should come with a different type of attitude. But if your daughter is in the wrong, you need to check your daughter as well. But people don't, and that's the problem. People need to stop putting their hands on people, and that's more of a mental issue, to where you feel as though in order for you to express yourself or to get your point across, you have to beat someone up or hit them because you have a short temper, whether you're a man or a woman.
No. You're right about that. Like I said, but I have cousins and family members. They think that somehow I'm the Punisher and I deal out justice because they got a vagina between their legs, and I'm like, no, that's not how it works. Like I come by, I assess the situation, but I'm about to pass it over to D Darrell, and I say, listen, we're gonna take your shit, go and put the kids in the goddamn stroller, and you're going over to mama's house, or you're going over to auntie's house. You out. You get your one amnesty card, you out. But if somehow your ass end up back in this house and there's no counseling, there's no others, there's stipulations. Do not call me, damn it. You better call that man in the blue uniform, because you don't want my saving. And I've had that happen. You know what I'm saying? J.I. said he gonna change. He ate the kitty cat. You know what I'm saying? He's taking care of the kids. I said, okay. People know how to behave for the moment, but I promise you, they will get, when they get comfortable again, and D and I know this, they will go right back to what they do. Or just like I heard fellas, after they leave that female, she'll call them, I'm sorry, baby. You know, I found that you better. Don't think they don't do it on both sides.
Yeah, they do. That's why I know when she first pull her hands up to you, leave her the hell alone.
And your ass right back in that same place. I said, bro, did we not get you out there? Did we not pack your stuff in trash bags and pick you up after she put you out and you went back?
She put that thing on him, BMT. You know how it go.
So there was the protection. That was the protection.
You're weak if you stay in the domestic whatever. That's just it. All this revenge that's stupid. If you stay, that's on you.
That's called indoctrination of the mind. That is an indoctrination. And I know we like to say that they're weak, but I'm saying, and hang on now, J.I.
Man or woman, and that's one I'm either side on. If you a man and a woman's hitting you, that first time she should have been gone. I don't want to hear it.
You know, but okay, so I would say this: if that is going on,
it's dysfunction.
Now let me get it over to D Darrell about that. About when we hear about the protection, and there are some people that go right back into the fire, into the storm. D Darrell, what's your thoughts about all that was just being said about the protection piece for the fathers? You know what I'm saying? But you know, our job is a little bit more not as easy as people want to say. And then I would just as father as men. When they say, well, you know what, she went back, that's on her. Go ahead.
Well, I look at this thing, man, because this is a manifestation of issues like this with men and women, in which they even get to a point of using violence. It's obviously a mental health issue. It's an impulse control issue. There are different, you know, mood symptoms and so forth that can persist that even cause someone to act that way. And a lot of times when people who engage in this kind of behavior, many instances, that's how they grew up seeing men and women interact. This is not something that adults just automatically start doing. In most situations, I actually provide services in domestic violence under what's called a BIP program that handles domestic violence and so forth. A lot of people who interact, whether it's male or female, in regards to them using violence, verbal abuse, psychological abuse, emotional abuse, financial abuse, they grew up seeing someone else do those same behaviors when they interacted with the opposite sex, whether it's male, female, or what have you, mother or father, or any other person that basically excuse me, raised them as a child. So this is something that is learned through modeling, poor parenting, and of course, if this is the only model or example that you have in regards to interacting with a person that you're with, you're going to exhibit those same behaviors, thinking that that's part of a functional relationship. And in many instances, when you see male, female, and so forth, where they have this kind of issues, if you go back into their background, you look at their interaction with the opposite sex and so forth, or what they've seen, many of them will say, my father did this to my mother, or my mother did this to my father, or grandparent. They saw some instances in most cases, not all cases, but most cases. And so it's obvious that these people need to learn effective ways to communicate. I mean, I have to push back on any form of anybody thinking that they trying to get back at somebody or doing something if somebody did cause harm, because I work in contract with the criminal justice system in regards to that, because most of the instances that I deal with this is usually referrals from lawyers and the DA and the judges and so forth, and they not playing with people with domestic violence, particularly men. That have to do 18 weeks domestic violence, 12 weeks, 24 weeks, 6 months. You can't see your children if you have children involved. You have a no contact order. You may lose your rights. See, you know, we can sit up here and say different things, but there's some consequences behind those type of behaviors when people put their hands on somebody else that can surface long term. And I've seen people lose their children. I've actually seen battered women lose their children behind putting their children in continuously running back to the situation, putting your children in a hostile environment. You know, Department of Family Protective Services or CPS or any type of child services, they will take those children and put those children in foster care if they can't find an adequate family member that will be able to take care of those children. So I just, you know, I know sometimes I may show a little passion about things, but there's a lot of things that, you know, I see day to day that just don't translate with some of the rhetoric that a lot of people say, because I see the overall consequences of this. And I think for me, I know people have a right to speak to free speech and to give their own opinion, but there are actual consequences and things that do happen that if someone was to hear some of the things that are talked about, and I do think that some people get on these panels and they're a bit irresponsible with some of the stuff that they say, and they have a younger person, impressionable person listening to some of this stuff, and they practice it, and then they find out they have, something tragic happens to them behind doing that. I just challenge some people with certain things. I'm not saying that I'm always right on things, because I'm not, and I'm not saying that anybody else is always wrong, because they're not. But I mean, I just think that some of these ideologies that some of these guys have, man, they need to just rethink how this shit translates into real life, and that's why sometimes I do act the way I do and so forth, and I'm gonna continue to act this way, because I'm sick and tired of hearing certain things that I know for a fact is going to be a detriment to our people if someone takes on certain ideas and they practice this shit in reality, and then they find themselves in jail. And then what you gonna say? Oh, well, I learned this because this YouTube panelist or so forth said this, so therefore I should do this and do that. Another thing we gotta look at, man, there are people right now listening to this shit, collecting data in this particular space, man. I've talked to people in the American Psychological Association, the American Counseling Association, that do research. They're in here trolling, man. These people are in here trolling, listening to a lot of this shit that people are saying, and they're accumulating data. And what they're going to end up doing? They're going to end up making laws about some of this shit that people say, and they're going to start taking down panels. They're going to start making new laws where people can't say shit on YouTube. And so this is the shit that I see, and I know that's going to happen. And so when someone wonders why I act for certain things that people are saying that I do don't necessarily constitute reality and so forth, because I understand the shit that's getting ready to happen over time, slowly but steadily. This shit will happen, and the more data that they accumulate, the worse the shit is going to be. They're going to be saying research studies, research reports. The shit going to be all over the New York Times and this and that. Communities, male supremacist groups.
Yeah, D-Darrell, I was going to quickly add, when you...
Listen. Listen. Just let me finish.
You interrupted me. Why can't he interrupt you?
This is the shit. Stop. Okay, go ahead. Interrupt me. Go ahead.
I was just going to quickly add to your point. Brother, just quickly, I was going to add. I don't know if you saw that shooting with that judge, and I believe it was in New Jersey. But the guy who did the shooting was like a men's rights activist, and that what you're saying was exactly what popped into my head. Is they're going to start, clamping down on some of this. It's not a good look for the whole MGTOW men's right movement.
No. And to me, my thing is they do have some valid points on certain things, but the extremity level of some of this shit is just, to me, unfounded. There's nothing to support it outside of your own anecdotal experience, even if others have similar experiences. So, I mean, I'm gonna say this, BMT. I mean, I respect you a lot, brother. I know we do a lot of content and stuff like that, but I don't want to, blow your platform up being unruly.
Nah, you fine. You fine. But we got the 2-strike data Dana rule. So shit, it's almost like the best thing we made.
Yeah. So
thing now.
So my thing is, I do apologize, and also to J.I., if I interrupted you, I do apologize. But there's gonna be some things, man. When I hear certain things, I'm gonna give pushback, and I understand you may not like it, and it goes with anything. But if I know something that for a fact, and in reality, people that I see in the profession that I am are going to look at certain way, I think I'm doing myself a disservice to the people, to our people, to just sit there and allow people to say certain things without challenging them, knowing of what I know in reality that's taking place right now.
Anything about anything. There's people on opposite sides. That's why nobody agrees on everything.
So let me just go ahead and show y'all this. See, I would never talk to y'all about something that I myself have not dealt with. So my ex was on Instagram Live. Her crazy ass, you know how I feel about them high yellow girls. Her ass was on IG. See, this is why I tell y'all, I think sometimes a part of my spirit is it lingers in these women in their vagina. Because I don't know, I think that had to be one of my old guns. And literally, I'm gonna show y'all how bad it can be. Y'all think these women are playing with some of y'all. You know what I'm saying? What's going on, Ramil? Let me show y'all my ex. You know what I'm saying? This is an old show we did. You know, luckily we got her some type of help. Not really, but she done shot another nigga at the strip club. So let me go ahead and play this shit.
But a lot closer to their relationship / marriage.
That's my ex.
I think that this guy,
love you, Maisha.
She look crazy.
With just a nice place to put
she
it.
crazy.
And
she crazy in life, but Lord have mercy, in the bedroom, she a whole nother demon.
Who's talking in the video?
And for that,
that's Game Changer. He was talking, but he came over a long time ago. See, back then we all didn't hate each other.
She feels secure in the fact that she can.
Is she pointing a gun at you, BMT?
Oh, she ain't pointing at me. She pointing at another nigga. She tried to point a gun at me one time, boy. I choked her out, boy. I said the gun is on safety, dummy.
She did this on live? Is this a skit or something?
Yeah, no, this ain't no damn skit. That's a real gun. That's a real gun. She done pointed the whole gun, threatened to blow his brains out and everything, boy.
Now, see, this is when you need your.
This is that foolishness. He should have left the first time.
Sisters.
Nope. This is where you need to leave.
Stuff
you don't need nobody to come and make this work.
Yeah, you need to leave.
Whooping her ass is not gonna fix this. You don't think that bitch had her ass whooped?
You can't beat no Maisha. Maisha.
Hold up. BMT just told you he choked her dumb ass out. You can't fix dysfunction with violence. What he needs to do is get his shit and leave her the fuck alone. Problem solved.
Look,
that's what it is.
Now in the video, she done shot 2 shots. She done shot 2 shots over his head. I see she still kept with the strip pole. I installed that pole myself. Literally, like I said, you can't listen. Maisha will knock out most men I know, boy. This one is a whole demon, boy. That's a real one right there. But literally, she made that boy say, "If I catch you cheating," she pointed that gun right at his pee-pee and literally said, "She said, hey, ever wanted to date a Leo, Scorpio, or Gemini woman? Yep, I know. I've been there. I survived." So literally, that was Maisha. She had no trill.
And his dumb ass is staying there. See, that's the problem. Why would you stay with somebody like that? It's because they're unfunctional too. Which is why I say, men and women, you getting your ass whooped in that abuse relationship. You chose that. That's what you chose. That's what you wanted. You should have left. Period.
You know what though? I hear you, but I think you kind of generalizing. Hold on. I think you kind of generalizing too, because you saying like you kind of saying like it's a lot of women and a lot of men, myself personally, who they have enough common sense to do exactly what you're saying. But see, one thing you can't account for another person being bent on being stupid. You can't account for another person who willing what I call count the cost, who say, you know what? All right, you gonna put a restraining order on me? Fuck that. You belong to me. You mine. I'm coming. I'm doing this. I'm doing that. And so you making it sound like, oh, just go over here to this corner, call the police every 50 times. Like that's really gonna solve problems. Hold on, hear me out. Hear me out. Just hear me out. You're what I hear you're saying, it sounds good in fairy tale world, but this is the real world. Shit don't play out like that. Sometimes a motherfucker has to get their fucking wig busted, male or female, for them to get the message and drive the message home. What you're saying is it's real, but part of that shit is unrealistic. The real world doesn't work that way, homie. It just don't.
Let me call Maisha. Let me call Maisha. I'm gonna tell her. I'm thinking about her right now.
This bitch pulled the gun on this nigga. If this nigga would have whooped her ass because she pulled a gun on, I don't care about that. But that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about. I'm looking at that bitch in her face. I've seen plenty of hood bitches like that. We all have.
They done end up in the dumpster. They done end up with their legs hanging out the dumpster.
First of all, you're
has
mad
gotten beat up so many times in her life, I'm sure.
I don't know. It's Maisha. I'm sorry.
If somebody puts their hands on you or is getting crazy, leave that person alone. Don't be calling people to come check them. That's not how you cannot fix dysfunction. Leave that person alone. Find somebody functional. See, I guarantee you, this dude in this video, he stayed with her after this.
But that's him. You're not listening to the part that I said.
You're excusing stupidity.
Let me play the video. Let me play the video. Let me just that way. I think
you
I have
are
the audio.
excusing stupidity, and
Let
that's
me play
called a
the
mental.
Yeah, calm down, man. Calm down. I mean, after I gotta get into Ramil. Let me play the video. You know what I'm saying? I know Ramil's like staying at what the hell did I walk back into? So I will show y'all first. We'll show Nicole. Okay. We had a female on the panel. That was Nicole. She thought this shit was normal. You know how y'all damn
Normal. This is common sense. Like this stuff is common sense.
For me, when I was a young little thing, I thought this was normal too. You don't have to read.
That's dysfunction.
That was normal for me. Bologna and ramen sandwiches and shit. And goddamn good time, bro.
I will not fucking miss. I will miss. I promise you. I promise you. I promise you. I will miss. I will not fucking miss. I won't miss.
That was my Cardi B.
At all. I will not miss.
There's a teddy bear right there, bro. There's a teddy bear.
You think I give a fuck? I don't care. Get the fuck off of me. I don't care.
Just for revenge.
No, you're in a motherfucking relationship.
She hit me up on the video. She said she want.
Let him know.
Fucking liking self-defense.
Right, can we move on from this?
I'm saying, you know what? You know, sometimes I look back at all my exes and I say, Lord, I was a wild thing back in the day when I talked to her. I know she's gonna hit me up later on. But she watches my shows. She like listening to a lot of people. And she always asks me, she said, you ever think about us? And I said, I do.
The question then I would be asking you if I was your wife, why are you communicating with your ex?
Well,
boom. See, a lot of
and that's a whole nother topic. And I'm like, you sitting here reminiscing, and and she asking you that question, and you answer it. Why are you even entertaining her conversation?
You know what? I'll
pay the bills in his house. He do whatever he wants.
You know.
That don't got nothing to do with it. You can't disrespect your wife or your partner.
But if his wife is talking to her ex, then it would be an issue. If the wife talking to her ex, it would be an issue.
Absolutely. Whatever BMT allows. That's what it goes.
Listen, I'm secure in myself. Like,
well, there you go. If he wouldn't care, he wouldn't care.
That's the point. If your wife have a problem with it, you shouldn't be doing it. And why would you do that?
Okay, let me tell you this.
BMT is the king of his
got to watch the show for herself.
No, do your wife know that you converse from time to time with your ex?
Yeah, she know that.
All right, so if she don't got no problem with it, okay, fine, keep doing it. But I'm just saying, at least you let her know. You know what I'm saying? Oh, this is who I'm conversating with. I don't gotta hide what I do.
I ain't gotta hide what I do.
Right. Well, if she accepts it, then she accepts it.
I don't gotta creep. So the thing about it is,
you should stop.
Hold up. Black relationships are dysfunctional. Speaking to this video, I've had people say your girl don't really love you if you ain't had to call the cops on her, or if the cops ain't been called. People say, and they mean that shit. So many people think this dysfunction is just a normal part of a relationship. They don't even know what functional looks like. That's why they stay in this dumb shit. That's your fault.
Did you see the guy flinch when the gun got pulled out on him? Nope. He was just like, listen, different eras, different places. It's like a gun getting pulled out. I told y'all, from where I came from, a gun getting pulled out is just a fucking goddamn Monday morning. Waking up with somebody pulling a knife out on you. You're like, either you gonna use the knife or not. Let me finish my goddamn cereal. Okay? Like, I know y'all looking at it like, good the hell? Like, but I'm saying, like, that was the space I was in. Like, I preyed on dysfunction because, like I said, that was at the time my dating pool. So she wanted guys that literally were in that type of world. That's what I said. You can't. I'm never going to talk about something that I have not real time been through or done. I know her. Like I said, it's easy to talk that good ish, but I'm saying when you get in front of females like her, she got no problem pulling out the steel and shutting you down. I promise you, she's done it plenty of times. I've seen her thrown down the stairs and come right back up that same stairs like the Terminator, like without even like do it again. I'm like, then she tried to pull me down the damn stairs. I'm like, oh my God, this broad is crazy as fuck. But you know what? It was good sex after. Now, I'm telling y'all right now, is that supposed to be normal? No. But I can tell you right now, D. Darrell, you probably have seen a lot of couples like her where people just, they fester and live off of dysfunction. That's what they
like
live
the
off
adrenaline.
of. It's the adrenaline. Y'all think that's a movie or those TV? What do y'all think those TV shows be based off of? Dysfunctional relationships. Shout out to Rob B.
Right.
But they really, that's what they be on. Ramil, I know you got to see my crazy ass ex. I will send her your DM, you know what I'm saying? Check you out. She makes a good balloon.
I'm good. I don't fuck with bitches like that. A bitch pointed gun at me. She's not leaving the house alive. That shit is what it is. I mean, because look, that shit not cute. She not cute for doing that, and I don't understand why y'all talking about domestic violence. Nobody say anything about defending themselves. This is why you gotta have cameras in your house. It's not about hitting women or anything like that. You have a life to defend. Somebody hit you in the right spot on your temple or anything like that. Anybody's capable of doing heavy damage. Somebody put their hands on you, you beat their ass, male or female. That's because that shouldn't be tolerated, especially as black men. We've allowed people to beat on us for the past goddamn hundreds of years. Every demographic. You got a right to defend yourself. Keep the cameras in your house. Beat the case. Put the evidence out. Somebody put their hands on you, male or female. You have to defend yourself. None of this. Oh, I'm gonna just wait, or I'm gonna get the restraining order. No, it's right then and there. You acting now because your life is in danger. Somebody can hit you in the right spot and knock you out. A 5'3" female hit you in that spot on your temple, or do something behind your back. You know they'd be scandalous, and you got to beat that ass because you have a right to protect your life. And some people. Some people, exactly. Some people not gonna learn. Some people not gonna learn.
I just said that. Did I not say that, Cyberline? Did I not say that?
My life,
no, man. I literally said.
I'm all for them defending themselves.
I literally said, take that 5'3" woman for granted, but she get that one good place hit. I watch a woman kill a man right there in the parking lot.
You learned that in the military, bro. You learned in the military. Right. We got spots on our body. We got spots that if you hit the right spot, that shit can literally take you out, no matter how the size of somebody. So why are you gonna let somebody hit you just because you want to be a better man? No, a bitch put her hands on me and there's cameras around, you getting that work. Same thing for a man. Don't touch me, dog. You know what I mean? Like it's equal opportunity. You gotta defend yourself. The law says you can defend yourself. Especially if you got the cameras rolling, man, go in. Because people gotta learn, dog. And right now, and how many cases we see in videos of niggas just getting their ass beat by these females just sitting there taking, man, you better get your ass up and beat that bitch ass.
So other than that,
this is why I'm at.
What's wrong with it?
Y'all
I have zero problems with that.
Man, I've never heard men talking about being a
Because
woman
they're
ass,
equal.
man.
Self-defense,
They're equal to men.
Self-defense. I'm not talking
Women
about
are
doing
equal
it.
to men.
Self-defense.
D-Darrell, you better not.
Women are equal.
Better not do no content.
Hold on. Women are equal to men, and if she attacks that man, he has every right to defend himself. Women are equal to men.
Self-defense. I'm not talking about initiating violence. I'm talking about self-defense. If somebody puts their hands on you first, not initiating violence.
Man,
somebody put their hands on you.
You talking about the defending. You talking about the defending.
Ramil.
Wow,
hey,
man.
Ramil. Hey, Ramil.
I'm about to end the show. I'm about to end the show. So let's give closing remarks. Let me start off with the real Dana.
Yeah, I mean it's a productive conversation, but I just think people need to stop heightening the gender wars and just start actually talking about dysfunction. If men want to, instead of always talking about women, talk about the dysfunction amongst women, and how about women talk about the dysfunction amongst women? I mean, men talk about dysfunction amongst men, and a woman should be talking about dysfunction amongst women, because it's a lot of dysfunction, and I think people don't want to admit that if we are a race of dysfunctional people, and if we can't have that conversation, then nothing's going to be resolved. You still want to have people on here complaining and doing silly stuff for views and money, and that's it. Until next time.
All right, well, I'm gonna say before I'm gonna head out to shout out to BMT. Thanks for letting me on real quick. Closing statements. Hey, black man, y'all stop letting everybody beat on you physically, mentally, spiritually. The whole society beating on you. Y'all niggas just taking it. This ain't even about defending yourself against women. Stop letting the world beat on you. This is just one aspect. I'm tired of seeing these world star videos, these hoes slapping y'all niggas up. Y'all just let them do it. You better beat that bitch ass. And that's not just for her, it's for everybody in society that's on your ass and knocking you to the ground, man. Stand the fuck up. Defend yourself and fight back, man. Tired of black man looking weak out here, man. That's it, man. Thanks for having me, man. I'm out.
All I'm gonna say is I agree with Ramil's point. Equal opportunity. Don't let nobody whoop on you. Don't let nobody hurt you. If 8-Ball Jacket would have shot and tucked that ass whooping, then it would have been all bad. But protect yourself out there. Make the right choices and make people respect you. You won't have no problems. I'm good. Hit me up, BMT. That phone call.
I was just going to quickly add too. I agree with J.I., who is saying, hey, you get in these situations, you find yourself with someone who's dysfunctional, you can't make a relationship work long term with violence, just walk away and find something better.
And that's really all it is. A lot of y'all, men and women, are scared to be alone. So y'all stay with these dysfunctional ass people, trying to make it work because you're scared you can't do no better. No, if she act up, whatever your rules are, she get to breaking them. Leave. The cops get called, just leave. Find somebody else. It's plenty of them out here. And the whole earlier thing, women are equal to men. So whatever she get in whatever situation, I walk by, she getting her ass whooped. That's oh well. She should have made a better choice. She should have had a husband there to defend her, or male, somebody. That's where I'm at with it. They get what they get. It's whatever. Men, do what you want. Understand that you have the power. There's a lot of power in walking away. Just leave them alone. They don't act right. Leave them alone. Let these man mouth bitches get what they get, and let these simps come and protect them. The guys that disagree, they need to be looking for them. Tell them to wear capes so they can be readily identified in public, and let them go protect them and raise their kids. Period.
Sorry about that.
Yeah, I got plane tickets.
Sorry about that. My kids ran outside in the rain with the dog and playing in the mud. I freaked out. I'm telling you right now, raising children is a full-time job. It's not for the weak. Like literally, these kids are crazy. They're outside they're just outside in their pajamas and rain boots, dog and everything. There's mud everywhere, and they want to come in the house and get fruit snacks. I don't know if I'm gonna kill my kids or whatever. Metaphorically, I don't. Give me strength. I need a beer because literally, the dog is right behind me too. Mud all on my damn floor. A word of advice: don't get carpet. Get wood floor. Easier to clean. Kids don't care for your what you spend money on. They don't. I just waxed the car, and my little girl is drawing mud pictures on my car. I'm trying hard not to look outside, but she wrote my name correctly. But literally, it's all over my fucking cars. So,
okay, are you ending the show?
Yes, I am, and I have to. I got kids outside with a dog, Dana.
About to tear up.
That's funny.
There will be a reckoning. My kids are going to need protection. But literally, you guys, like I said, I much love to all of y'all. I gotta go check on that. Thank you guys for coming through. Like the video, share the video. Like I said, if I have to, I'll probably put this on the Patreon if I got to. But for the most part, I probably won't.
Why would you put it on Patreon? Leave it up.
Yeah, I'll probably leave it up.
All right, thanks for having me, BMT. Take care.
Yes, take care, J.I. Shout out to my lovely co-host, Dana, as well as Rob B, two lovely ladies, and they came through. Dana,
wait. Let me get my closing remarks.
Oh, I didn't think you did it. Dana's supposed to be the co-host. She could have done
First of all, your ass dropped off. Everybody was giving closing remarks.
No.
Any other time, backstage.
Any other time you like to flex your co-host.
I was letting people give their closing remarks. Then you hopped your ass back on, but you put her backstage.
No. I had fell off.
You fell off too. Both y'all fell off.
Do that.
So it ain't my fault. It's not my fault.
Go ahead, Ro.
Ro always starting something.
I know, right? Jesus. I was gonna say this in my closing remarks.
He's my fan.
I love our people. Period.
Shit, one of us got to.
But I'm finna tell you, if you come for my son, know this, fam. I am gonna come. Yeah, dressed in all black like the Omen. Hoodie, sweats, Timbs, gloves, mask, and I'm tearing some shit up. Period. In the end. Women, keep your hands to yourself. Men, keep your hands to yourself, because you never know who got a crazy ass family member like me that's not here for you abusing their people. Let's learn to love each other. Period. Because all this other shit is dust and air. So way to keep us separated while they pull the okie doke and do some fuck shit to all of us. Are you ready?
Okay. And I know plenty of women like that. Ruby, don't judge me about vaping. Shut up. It helps me with my medicine. And shout out to Rodana and Robbie. I'm gonna call my ladies after the show later on. After I finish with my children. Does anybody know how to get mud out of a carpet? It's the best way.
The best way to get mud out of a carpet is to pour down peroxide and let the peroxide eat away at the dirt. Take a towel and dab it. Don't rub it in. Dab it off, and you won't have any staining.
How about you get the belt and start whooping some?
No.
They track the mud in the house.
That's the first thing.
Who tracked the mud? The kids or the dog?
Listen, I can't. I mean, they're all going to get it.
Everybody on punishment. Everybody sit down. Everybody on timeout.
Everybody get it. Ain't no fucking punishment in this house, y'all. Probably at Granny's house, but shit, I told her.
Nope, make them take a nap. Turn the TV off. Take the Wi-Fi away.
There will be justice. Boy, it will be justice for me. I got a lot of work to do, so I got to do this, and I got to go grill some chicken.
I'm gonna sign off because I think I'm gonna do a show tonight at 7. So
you ain't doing no show. I'll be over there.
No, I am, but shut up.
Good, we miss you, Dana. What the
Prophet of thoughts. He all late. One on the ladies coming back to the debates. Honey, we are 3 hours in, and you come tippy toeing over here with the question.
Okay, so let me go ahead and get it cracking. Much love to all of y'all. Shout out to my mod. Shout out to my new mod, Christopher W. I had just now modded him up as from
Salute,
one better.
Chris.
Well, other than that, I'll see y'all guys later. Much respect.
See you later.
Bye. See y'all guys later. Peace.
Bye.